Hello and welcome to the Computer Game Show. My name's David Turner. I'm here with Matt Murray.
Hello there.
Sean Bell.
You alright?
And James Farley.
You alright?
We're here. We're back for another week talking about those crazy games, eh? Those crazy video games on those old Monday nights. We'd like to start the show by thanking our Patreon producers this month. They are Aaron Patrick, the QuickBooks chap, Simon Nelson, Moomin Biscuit, Trans Rights to Human Rights, Dave Ernsberger, Colin Brown, Gasman, Rocketman76, Smooth Monkey, John Tempelli, Jackie Sniper, Sam Higton, Thomas, Stan, Philip with an F, Cutty, Steve Lee, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Man, Jack Oven, Grey Dragon Claw, Colin the Car Wanker Smith, Lee Keybottom, My Dog Skip, Dean, and Steve the Nuke Littler. Thank you so much for supporting us over at patreon.com/TCGS. They're the Full Nails crew, and we thank every single one of them. They keep us going, as does everyone that signs up at patreon.com/TCGS. Different tiers if you want to get involved. Please support us. Not a lot of people do. Some are actually actively trying to stop us. They're actually trying to stop us. So please get behind what we do if you can. If not, tell a friend about us. Tell them where we are and say those guys really know their stuff actually. So that's fine.
You will struggle for sort of 3 to 4 episodes, but then it really kicks in after.
I think you do need a good 8 to 9 episode run before it starts.
Just ask the panel at the Independent Podcast Awards. One is not enough.
Enough editing involved, so we apologise for that.
Too long.
We did our Mario Kart stream the other day. That went quite well. Other than the first game we tried to play, it kicked us all out because it's Nintendo Online, and that's the way it goes.
That, lingering anxiety throughout the rest of the stream.
and then Sean's like, "Yeah, it's been fine now," and then the next one crashed as well.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, but overall, it was brilliant, and I had
it's such a good game.
Yeah.
It really is a good game. Yeah, I know. I didn't want to stop really, but we will hopefully next month be doing a Mario Kart World. I keep wanting to say World Tour. I don't know why. I don't know what it is, but I keep wanting to call it a World Tour. But we will be doing a community stream for our patrons for Mario Kart World next month. So if that interests you, go to patreon.com/TCGS and join us over there. Shall we get to the feedback from last week's show? Matt,
I mean, before that,
did they all love it?
We should say that the tattoo video is now available.
Yeah, it's over now. It's finished. Who cares? Yeah, it's done. It's done. Who gives a shit anymore?
All the people watching it, mate. All the people watching it. What's that, James?
So we did have a conversation about the next bet and what it's going to be.
Oh, we did actually, yeah.
Wait, you're not supposed to be. It's supposed to be spontaneous, mate.
I mean, not a James on board, but no, just in the video, yeah.
What does that mean?
Well, planning.
Yeah, what does that mean, James?
I don't know what that means.
He's
Schemer.
a strategist.
Yeah.
Scheming. Well, no, just on the video, I just want to, Sean edited it. It's out there. You can watch the tattoo now. I know because we did say it should be out by the time this episode is here, but yeah, it's out now to watch on YouTube. And it was actually fun doing one of YouTube premieres. Had
it was weirdly really nice, wasn't it?
I guess we never really had the need to do that ever, but it was fun to do it for one time.
It was a bit like it's not even 4 minutes long. It's just, but no,
it was the countdown was longer than the video.
Well, the funny thing is that at first I had a 5-minute countdown, and then I was like, where's 5:02? I was like, why isn't it starting? But I realised the countdown doesn't start until the scheduled time, so 12. And I was like, I was a melody. I was like, I've got to change it to 2 minutes. 5 minutes is way too long. And even 2 minutes is probably pushing it a bit. But hey,
I did really like the countdown though, because it was like I like the way that it's like committed to it. Just because it was quite long, but then it's like this is actually excellent. Like the way it just keeps going, it was good.
Oh, you hadn't seen the video, had you, before?
No, I missed it.
Not, yeah.
That's James seeing for the first time with everyone else.
Yeah, James, finally glad to get you involved in this whole tattoo bet thing, mate. Fucking hell.
I wanted to be there.
I know. We all wanted you to be there, but you weren't. Should we get to the feedback from last week's show, Matt?
Yeah, we got some new people who have joined the TCGS party, shall we say. First message is from Wayne Rooney. Wayne Rooney, the ex-footballer.
Football man.
Yeah, football man, yeah.
Football Wayne.
I promise.
We call him Football Wayne. Could you imagine if that's how he introduces himself? Even now. Hi, I'm Football Wayne. Why? Because I really like football.
I used to
Shakes
play
hands.
it. No, just
I used to play it at a decent level.
Anyway, Wayne says, I promise I'm Wayne Rooney. My wife Colleen and I love the show. In the beginning, that's the yoke. I love all that. Ha 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 ha. Keep it up, lads. He sounds like a genuine fan.
It does. I'm disappointed though we didn't get one from Jamie Vardy as well. Just to say that.
We will now next week.
Yeah, it's true. The thing is, though, if Wayne Rooney was a real fan of this, that's the exact sort of message you would send in.
Yeah,
like it would
Yeah.
read like that. It would even have the little strong, because we've got a strong arm emoji at the end of that one. Yeah, cheers, Wayne. I believe.
Yeah, I think he's an actual listener. It's great. This one, I also believe it, a listener. The Batman
Oh yeah,
has messaged.
right.
The Batman. I don't think he
which
would even
one?
call himself the Batman. I mean,
one?
I'm
It's
gonna
in
This
the
is
choose.
newest
your-
film, right? I say newest. That's already about 5 years old or something. I've still not
It
seen
is,
it.
yeah.
Oh, it's so
If
good.
this is your first TCGS, just to explain, last week I may have wanted some celebrities to message in if they listen to the show. I regretted it about 2 seconds after saying it. Two seconds. And here we are.
I'm disappointed we only got one. I was hoping for two Batmans.
Good Batman.
Two Batmans.
Unlikely. Right. Okay. Hi,
It's a
TC.
deep
This is
cut.
from the Batman. Yeah. Just wanted to let you know that I'm one of your celebrity listeners. Just busy fighting crime and that. I would have tweeted you from the official Batman account, but Alfred turned the Wi-Fi off and can't get it back on, so the Batcave computer is out of order at the moment. Also, is that Edward Nigma still a listener? I'll knock his block off. Rip Bum and Dad, kind regards from the Batman. That's how you know this is real. Because he paid respect to his parents.
Cheers the Batman.
He's
the
still
Batmans.
not over it. It was ages ago, but he's still.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't be over it, to be fair. You can't just say it was ages ago, mate.
Get
His
over it,
parents
man.
were murdered in
He
front
nearly
of him.
gets over it in Mask of the Phantasm.
Does he?
There you go.
Well,
That's-
how
that's
does
it.
that...
Got 3 people
Well,
just went, yeah, that's a good point, Sean. Well done.
You're never going to forget all that popcorn falling on the floor and like all the pearls
No.
and stuff, are you?
All the
true.
claret spilt. No.
Yeah.
All the pearls. Go on.
Alan fucking Shearer has also messaged another football man. Another great family football man. I'm Alan
Football
Shearer.
Alan.
I'm Alan Shearer. Famous slaphead turned number 9 turned pundit. Famous slaphead number 9 turned pundit. I was going to endorse TCGS as my favourite video game podcast as a long time listener, coming from Midnight Resistance and being 10-year time served Destiny Warlock main, but then you called my fellow tunesmen and women Geordie creeps, so now you can fuck yourselves, twats.
Why are we talking about Geordie Creep so much? Why is this happening? This is really, really weird. Okay, go on.
I know, but the next message is related to that. Georgie creep has messaged. Hi gents, why does Dave keep acting like no one has ever heard of Geordie Creep? Every track on his latest album has a minimum of 1 million plays on Spotify. Some as high as 8 million. He has around 300,000 active monthly listeners. This is weird. I mean, they've got a point.
Yeah, but in the grand scheme of things, like, look, Geordie Creep's great. I don't want to keep going on because I just feel like I have that fear that it's going to end up, it's like, oh yeah, there's these fucking wankers on a podcast that keep mentioning me and laughing about it. I'm a fan. Holy is incredible.
Yeah, along with the
All
other
right,
millions
Geordie?
of fans.
Yeah, and all the other millions of fans, fine. We're all massive, it's great. I can't wait. Fucking hell. This has been like 4 weeks running. It's getting too much now and it's making me feel awkward.
Tom has messaged, late to the party, but I really thought that someone...
Sorry, is he celebrity? Because if he's not,
I assume Cruz.
Yeah, this is Tom Hanks. Oh, right, you went with Cruz. I went with Hanks.
Cruz. Late to the party.
Jones, but, you know.
Oh, wait.
All right, fucking hell.
James, the
shit,
joke
mate.
has gone, for fuck's sake. All right. Late to the party, but I really...
Sorry, James. I just realised I took the piss out of you for an old reference, but the alternative was Cruz and Hanks, which isn't the most happening celebrity at the moment, is it? So I'm aware of that.
It's not unusual.
James.
Okay.
Fuck off, Matt. Fuck off.
Late to
you
the
know what I
party.
like about that one is that Matt, when you said Tom Jones, James, Matt spent the rest of that time trying to think of Tom Jones titles and then thought, fuck it, I can't make it work. I'll just say it anyway.
I'll just slag him off. Yeah,
it's not unusual. Yeah. Shut up, Matt.
I think that's fine, actually. It's up there. That's probably like probably 4 out of 10. But, got it out there.
Not even
Late to
that.
the... Oh, wait, I'm doing my bit. Can you...
Go ahead, sorry.
Late to the party, but I really thought that someone would have picked up on this in the last couple of weeks. In the big episode 446 birthday celebration, Ben asked, amongst other things, what was the segment that you tried out on the show that turned out to be much bigger than you'd anticipated? Nobody had an answer, but surely it's Farley's Fantasy Zone. The segment's so huge that it necessitated a banger of an intro track. An intro track so banging that it was used in Laser Quest and heard by a fellow listener, which led to the creation of TCGSCon. Basically, we only have TCGSCon because Farley's Fantasy Zone exists. And so that's the answer to Ben's question. This bad boy had legs and changed the community forever.
I mean, Tom has absolutely nailed that, hasn't he?
Yeah.
That is that. I mean, you're absolutely spot on.
But also, it's so fucking typical that the one thing James did
is the biggest thing.
He's like a potion.
But I don't look at that as something that James Farley did. That is because we would have gone, oh right, okay, James Farley, come on, this is the Farley's Fantasy Zone. He didn't turn around and go, hey, I've got some shit rumours, so I've got a new idea for a segment, guys. Farley's Fantasy Zone. He wouldn't have done that. He didn't make the. Oh, he did make the jingle.
He did make the jingle.
I made it myself.
Yeah, it was
You're
pre-AI,
absolutely right.
So we know it was real.
Was it pre-AI?
Garage band.
It was pre-II, yeah. It was very, very garage.
Pre-AI.
Episode title. Yeah, you're right. Look, James, here, I'll give you the keys to the pod. They're yours now. You've deserved them.
Already got them.
You haven't. There's no way. There is
cut.
absolutely no way we would trust you up until this point with the keys to the pod. Could you imagine? Could you imagine?
I can't imagine.
Fucking hell.
James, you're
I'll tell you what is happening though.
Episode this week.
If this ever happens, right? Like, if this is ever a thing, this has got to happen, right? If there's 1 week where Matt, Sean, and I can't make it, James has to still do a show. There's no way we're doing a week off.
Yeah, I'll do
James
that.
has to gather some guests, do the whole show, and edit it.
I think just Jeff Gerstmann's it. Just
you can do it solo as well.
Yeah,
you could do it solo as well. Yeah. That would be excruciating.
I mean, could you imagine it if I did put out like a Gerstmann style 4-hour episode?
Yes, I guarantee you'll have arguments with yourself. You'll end up falling out with yourself. And just go, no, listen, fuck off, yeah. No, fuck off.
Yeah, it's possible. Rob the Toffee, evening team. I just wanted to follow up on a private Twitter message I sent back in August to say thanks for entertainment, as my wife starting chemotherapy after being diagnosed with stage 4 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. I got a lovely reply from Sean on behalf of all of you. It's been a tough, long year, but I'm delighted to say on Thursday she was given the all clear, which is just unbelievable. I wanted to thank you all. Without knowing it, I want to thank you all as without... Fucking hell, what's wrong with me? I want to thank you all as without knowing it, you've all
Brilliant.
been there.
Really lovely message there, completely destroyed.
That's why I'm doing breaks from that edit
again.
the fuck-ups. Let's start again.
No, I'm going to keep referring back to them throughout the rest of the show.
Yeah. Well, that'd be weird because they won't actually be in the pod, so you look stupid. It's been a tough, long year, but I'm delighted to say on Thursday she was giving it all clear, which is just unbelievable. I wanted to thank you all, as without knowing it, you've been there as familiar voices, offering humour and entertainment, and have really helped keep me grounded to be able to be there to support my wife and young daughters. Who knows what the future will hold, but I want to say thank you, and to all listeners, to give those close to you an extra big hug next time you see them. Life is precious, and we should all try to enjoy it. Keep up the brilliant work, and I wish you all a great remainder of 2025 and beyond. Much love, Rob the Toffee.
Thanks for sending that.
Which is unbelievable news.
It's fantastic news. It's good to get some good, nice feedback for a change. Not people slagging us off for our politics.
We appreciate it. Amazing, Rob.
Whenever I hear Rob the Toffee, I'm always reminded of the fact that the morning after TCGSCon Sheffield, he'd put his name sticker was on like a wheelie bin.
I found it on a wheelie bin. And
I remember looking at it being like, oh my god, is he transformed? Is he Rob? Is that you?
Is he a wheelie bin now?
I remember that we walked past it. And I was like,
That's right,
"What's
yeah.
that?" I was like, "That's Rob the Toffee."
He's a bin. That is it for feedback. Go to tcgs.co/dear tcgs. Leave your feedback.
Brilliant. Should we get to the news? James Farley. There's plenty going on this week, isn't there?
Yeah, it's been a jam-packed week of news.
That was a deeper voice than you usually go with. That was
Really?
quite smooth. Yeah. Let's get that. This is business, Farley.
Yeah,
Let's get down to business.
We can get back to business. So
That's what it sounds like when James Farley's trying to seduce you. That's what
We can get back to business.
We'd be down to business.
We can get down to business.
see, the trouble was I said that and I was aware that I was jumbling the words as I was saying them, and it wasn't very.
We can get down business.
We being down to business. God, let's go.
So, okay, we've had the big news. It's finally happened, and Rockstar have delayed Grand Theft Auto 6 until 2026. It's now coming out on the 26th of May, 2026, which is very specific. You know, I was quite.
It is very specific. I was really surprised. I'm confused why they said that, to be honest with you.
I can only assume that they're confident it'll be finished before that, and then they'll just crack on with working on online stuff or whatever. I don't know.
but like even like we don't need to know that date.
No, it's so rare as well to get that specific this far out. I mean,
and like
great,
you think they want to hype up to a date release video or whatever, trailer or whatever as well.
I
Right?
guess they need to
maybe they
appease
just,
something.
Like, had enough of that. It's like
Yeah.
I think people have just had enough of like drip feeding.
Yeah, I guess purely
some-
matter of concrete information, didn't they? And like putting the date in with a delay. You know, there's some good news along with the delay being here's a date, but yeah.
I was going to say, and I guess it's some welcome clarity for other developers and publishers as well. Like, right, we know the exact date to avoid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you say drip feed, though, they haven't really, have they? They've
There's
put
been-
one trailer
I mean,
out.
The
That's
one
it.
trailer like 2 years ago.
Yeah, there's been.
Yeah, but
very,
that's
actually, you're
fine.
right.
I mean,
there's been very little.
Yeah, I don't feel. Yeah, exactly. I don't think they've been drip feeding anything. I think they've showed their trailer and that was it.
I think there's one drip.
Yeah, exactly. It's not. Yeah,
It's a
but that's
good one,
not
though.
drip feeding, then, is it? It's they've shown the trailer, and that's fine. I don't.
just dinner.
I don't know.
It's not
I
drip
think.
feeding,
I
that's
think.
just a
I
meal.
think people overanalyze like the Rockstar stuff. They really do, and you know, we know it's a big event, and we're all excited for Grand Theft Auto, and you know, it's one of the biggest events in the gaming calendar. But I some of the reactions I've seen to this thing is absolutely wild. Maybe it's because we're older now and we know, like, we've been through this enough to know. Yeah, well, the game will come. So.
And this
It's
is always
fine,
a good thing. Like, I'd much rather they delayed it and it was an incredible game than like releasing it and it's like a bit of a mess. And if they have to delay it another year, I'm like, fine, it will be an incredible game when it comes out. I'm obviously incredibly looking forward to it. It's like my most anticipated game, as GTA games always are. But I'd much rather they delayed it and it's the best possible product on launch than rushing out. And it's like, I'll wait till it gets better. I'll wait till the servers work. I'll wait till this. This is always the best thing. It's disappointing, but it's the best thing.
Also, I mean, Jason Schreier has said that, you know, that one of the reasons for this is to avoid there being like horrendous crunch, like up until.
I was going to
the end
say,
of this
I
year.
hope this is like a bit of breathing space for the teams rather than, oh God, more crunch. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a good thing.
Because he's spoken to people inside Rockstar who said that has got better, like since, you know, compared to how it used to be. So that's probably a good thing.
Also, I kind of want them to stay quiet on it now until the new year, and then start doing the marketing leading up to May. Like, there's no doubt in my mind that this year so far has been one of the best best years for gaming since the launch of the new consoles, the PS5 and Xbox Series. I think already we're looking at like some really, really good video games for the year. Let's just start next year like it with a bang and build up to that, in my opinion. But yeah, I wasn't surprised. I was kind of surprised about the reaction that I'd seen online, but I guess a lot of it is social media bots and you know, nonsense articles and stuff, trying to drum up like this narrative that this is a huge disaster and people have been waiting and it's outrageous they've delayed it and stuff. When really, I just think we kind of all expected it, and if it means that the game's getting extra polish, then I'm all for it.
You say that, David, but it's completely wrecked my Fantasy Critic League thing. So
right. Well, two things you don't have to worry about. Firstly, you haven't given a shit about it since the day that you set it up.
I know, because I'm banking on Grand Theft Auto, you know.
Secondly, you also use generic things like Mario Kart game, and for some reason, that system goes, all right then, you can have that.
There is a Mario Kart game coming out, so it's fine.
If we do the Critic thing next year, right, we are taking it away from. We're taking it away from that, and we're sorting it out ourselves, because that system is fucking dreadful.
Just because you've been burnt by it, I think it's a great system.
You can customize loads of stuff in it, just obviously because it's the first time I was setting one up. I was like, I assume this is all basically fine.
Yeah, I'll have to. Yeah, we'll just have to lock things down a bit more. But
well, have you noticed? I did have a look, and James went from projected to be first to projected to be last in the Critic League before and after this was delayed.
I still thought maybe it'd be all right because I put 3D Mario game down as being like one of the options, but that's not going to happen now.
This year. No, not now, not this year.
You don't reckon? I reckon there's a slight chance we'll get a big Christmas Mario game now.
No chance. No.
Sounds like a bet.
God,
no. It's too soon.
Okay.
You can just get another tattoo of your own choosing. It doesn't have to go through this again.
This is the only way I get tattoos now.
Do you know what's really funny? The amount of people that have seen that tattoo and gone, God, it's a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. And I went, that's exactly what Matt said the moment he walked out of that tattoo parlor.
Yeah. But, Mark had done the print, and I was like, in no fit state to say, give us. I was like, fine, it's fine. Let's go.
You weren't getting on it in your body for the rest of your life.
And went like, it's really fucking big.
But whether it's like a small one or big one, it's still ultimately a Wookiee tattoo I got because I lost a bet to James Farley on the podcast. So, this makes the design look bigger and better. So.
How is it now? Is it
fine? Right? Yeah, it's kind of a little bit flaky, I guess, but no, it's all good. Nice. No
it looks good.
Yeah,
it
looks good.
Right, okay.
GTA delayed. Gutted on a gaming level because I wanted to play that game, but this ultimately be for the best and something massive now to look forward to next year.
I know your criticisms of that game is going to drive me wild, so I'm kind of glad
it depends.
that's been put off.
Maybe they use the extra time to update the mission structure.
I'll never understand your view of Red Dead 2.
How do you not understand my view of following a person is like how they're not updated that? Go to a little circle.
As I said, they did it in loads of other games since then. And
let's see what they do for GTA 6 then.
It's like the whole walking through cracks thing. There's some games where you highlight as this major issue, and there's some that you go,
it does annoy me, but I know why they're doing it, so I can't complain too much.
I don't even know why it annoys you. I don't get what...
Because, it's like in, I love the Uncharted games and Last of Us games. It was like when you go into like arena there, you see loads of, knee-high like boxes. You're like, okay, well, this is like a very orchestrated arena. I know, it's just, look, I know why they do these things. It's just like, oh, great, another crack to squeeze through.
Okay.
Makes me sick.
Let's get on to the next news story, James.
Okay, so the next thing is that there's a big old Xbox price rise that's going on. In different parts of the world. In Europe, it's not quite so bad because the Series X is going to cost £500, which is an increase of 20 quid. The 512 gigabyte Series S is going up by £50. And if you want to get the 2 terabyte Series X, that's up £40. But in the US, it's a kind of a different thing because that's going up by $100, and the Series S is going up by $80, and the 2 terabyte Series X is now up to $729, which is up $130, which, as many people have pointed out, is more expensive than a PS5 Pro.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, also the other thing,
but it also makes the Pro a bargain. Actually, I guess if you think about it now.
Yeah, you should probably buy one.
Yeah, interesting. Interesting.
And then also the price of Xbox games is going to rise as well to $80. There isn't a price yet for the UK, but presumably that is going to go up. That's going to happen at the end of the year. The cost of Game Pass is not increasing though so far, so presumably that's coming at the end of the year.
So I'll let you go on your story, but you've got to imagine this will push more people to Game Pass as a result.
Do you want to hear the quote that they said? This is the reason for this. They said, "We understand that these changes are challenging, and they were made with careful consideration given market conditions and the rising cost of development. Looking ahead, we continue to focus on offering more ways to play more games across any screen, and ensuring value for Xbox players. So it's like, yeah, don't worry, you don't need to buy the hardware, you can just play it somewhere else instead, because we know it's expensive. But then also they did like a report. They had the quarterly financial results, and there's been another fall in Xbox hardware sold. So this is probably going to not help that any further. But the revenue from the gaming division has gone up, and it's mostly because of Call of Duty, Minecraft, Game Pass, and also Microsoft were the top publisher on both Xbox and PlayStation for the last quarter. So, yeah. Oh, and also, just before we started recording, there's a new Gears of War, the original Gears of War sort of like remaster or whatever that's coming out, and that's coming to PS5 as well in August. So we're just missing Halo now, and then you've got all three of the big ones.
And also, Oblivion is like the third best-selling game of the year already. Obviously, it's on Game Pass, but even just like revenue from sales, it's the third best already after like 4 days when they recorded.
They're doing really well in software. It's just hardware they're not shifting at all. And I think these price increases...
This is going to make it even...
even worse,
matters, is it? It is fucking wild, this. Like, it's wild. This is the first generation where consoles have gone up during its lifespan, and I'm struggling to sort of understand why, and also struggling...
Well, we know why.
Well, yeah, we know why.
Go on.
I mean, it's the
these are tariff stuff.
It's
yeah, no,
absolutely
hold on. Both consoles went up before the tariffs were introduced. So it's like, this is what I'm saying. It's the
increase, but you can see the difference in, like, if you look at the way that Europe's being treated compared with America. Like, Europe's increases are not as bad as America's ones. No.
I'm saying that this is tariffs, but they've also gone up before then. You know, Sony increased their prices 2 years ago or whatever it was. Microsoft increased their prices a year or so ago.
They did it in April, I think. The PS5 became more expensive.
It's just like, it's weird, and I'm struggling to I fear for the future. Like, how much are these next consoles going to cost? These PS6 and whatever Xbox churn out next.
That's the thing, because when you said before, like, how, after the PS5 Pro came out and you were like, how much is the next generation going to cost? I always kind of naively thought, the base units will still be cheaper, for the next generation. But now I think you're right. I think they are going to be insanely expensive.
Yeah, there's no way they're going to have a Pro model for the last generation that was more expensive than the base model for the new one. Like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You're looking at £700 for the next, like, the PS6 base model. That is fucking scary. Like, and someone said on Rollmuck, I was reading Rollmuck, and someone said you're going to look at the Switch 2 and go, oh no, that was actually reasonably priced. And I think we've not seen the last of this. I think prices are going to rise,
but then it may
especially I think when Microsoft do it, that's the scariest aspect of it. Honestly, I think now that Xbox has hike their prices, because you think, oh, but you're lagging behind in sales, and you're also one of the biggest video games publishers in the world, making so much money from, your library of games that you're selling to people. Putting your price up of your console, it just makes you think, right, okay, well, fucking all bets are off now, aren't they?
Yeah.
Especially because compared with all, like, out of all three, they are the one that could most easily absorb costs as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, because of how much money they generate, it's incredible.
The PS5 Pro goes up soon, right? Before the end of the year.
Yeah, I should think. Well, I don't know, actually. Maybe it won't, because it's probably, I don't think it's selling. So it's like,
Yeah, I can see the base one doing it,
but the Xboxes aren't selling, James.
Yeah, I know, but it's different for Sony, isn't it? It's like they're still selling loads and loads of PS5, so it's, I don't know, maybe, I don't know.
I mean, part of this could also be
now. If I was going to get one, I'd get one this year. I think before the end of the
James
year.
and I have your news for you. It's just as well we brought them back in. No, I mean, part of this could be, hey, we can increase prices because everyone else is increasing prices. So I think there's going to be part of that of like, what could they get away with? But yeah, this is going to do a lot of damage to an already quite poor hardware market for Microsoft. I mean, like, the fact that games are going to $80, but I truly believe GTA will be like more than this. Like, I thought it was going to be 90 anyway. I think it's like GTA will be more than $80 now. If like the base price of these games for this price.
I just don't see it. I don't see it. I think they sell way more copies than your average. I think if they go above
that's true.
I think they'll come in at the high end. I could see it being 75 quid, which is what which Nintendo's selling Mario Kart for. I can see it being 75 quid. I can't see it being above that because then
Microsoft games, Xbox games would be $80 starting this Christmas. So it'd be 80
but that's
minimum.
not £80, is it?
But for Rockstar, Take-Two, whatever, presumably they're looking at that and being like, oh well, good, everyone's laying the groundwork for us now. Everyone's normalising it.
And who knows where we'll be in May? That's like another.
Could you see them splitting off the multiplayer or whatever and selling that separately or something like that?
But that's already
because they make too much money from. If anything, they're likely to make that free to play. I don't think they will.
It is a free download, isn't it? GTA Online currently.
It is currently. Yeah, I can't see the new one being free to play. I think they're going to make you. They want you to buy the game to play both things, and that's the other thing as well, isn't it? That they'll earn so much money from GTA Online that actually raising it to $90 is actually, or whatever, going over the higher value is actually kind of sick, considering we all know how many millions this thing is going to fucking sell. They'll do all right. So
it's going to be the biggest entertainment weekend ever, I think. It'll be like a bigger than Endgame and all sorts. But
what's crazy is that video games now are not just bleeps and bloops, and they create more money than the. Sorry, Matt.
But
I should add, GTA Online is not free. You can buy it standalone.
Maybe how much? Maybe it's that little. Maybe it's a promo that had it.
I think it's been on Game Pass and PS Plus.
That's right. Okay, yeah.
How much is that then separately?
$20 or $18.
Wow!
But also, we haven't actually heard once that there's going to be a new GTA Online. Like we're assuming, but developing that as well as GTA 6, maybe they'll just release another GTA Online in Christmas next year rather than releasing both at the same time. I mean,
that's the bit that interests me. Yeah, where they release it. Like how they release it. Is it day and date? Is it all coming out at once? I mean, I don't think
feels like they could delay that a bit.
I don't think
GTA
let the
5 breathe a bit and
GTA 5 online didn't come out till 2 months after GTA 5.
And when it did, it was a fucking mess initially.
I mean, it's still a mess in my opinion. I don't think it's a bit of a fucking.
Maybe we might see some like online co-op as well for like the single player. Do you know what I mean? Because there's like two protagonists. They could do something like that.
Yeah, I want to actually enjoy the cutscenes, which I don't say often. I don't want I've loved my friends and you guys. I don't want any of you talking over the fucking cutscenes in GTA.
Why did you not include us in your friends there?
Your colleagues, it's different.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Business partners. But also, I mean, just generally, the games going to $80. This is also going to push people more to Game Pass, so that's a win for them because they want people on their services. If games are $80, they're like, well, hey, you could just go on Game Pass. So I think this will also result in
until they ramp up the price of that as well.
Which there's going to do. Like by the end of this year, I would have a bet that it will increase by the end of the year. But then also that only works, Matt, if people are buying the hardware.
Ain't no one taking you up on that bet, James. I mean, that's so obvious. Yeah, scary, innit? All right,
okay.
But what else? Fable's early next year as well, isn't it?
Is that date?
It's 20. We know it's next year, but not when.
I thought it was the start of next year. I don't know. Next year's going to be good. I think it's going to be good. Let's go.
Next story. I mean, there's been bad things that have basically happened in like games media this week. So, Polygon has been sold to Valnet, and the majority of the staff have been laid off. Like all the people that were laid off were part of the Vox Media union, so they're all gone. And Valnet have said that they're going to do what's right for Polygon, and that we think Polygon has a lot of potential and could be much more. I mean, Valnet, they own like the Gamer, Collider, Comic Book Resources, Screen Rant, Game Rant, and like a load of those sites. Chris Grant, who's Vox Media's group publisher of The Verge and also of formerly a Polygon, he said their press release proudly calls Polygon a premium gaming publication, but Valnet literally refused to meet with me or answer a single question of mine throughout this process. They were wildly incurious about how a gaming publication even becomes premium, in inverted commas. I mean, Valnet don't have a great reputation, and they generally seem to go in for producing lots and lots of content, but quality is maybe not quite there, and treating people not very well, allegedly. Yeah, this is not great. I mean, it's another site which seems to be disappearing, and obviously there's lots of the people that were working for them are now setting up, new sites and Patreons and stuff like that. So if there's anybody you particularly liked, then go and have a look. Like Chris Plant is just starting a new weekly news podcast.
Newsletter,
yeah, which is good. So that's not great.
Yeah, I mean, they say they're looking forward, like Valnets are looking forward to the future of Polygon, but isn't there only like 2 editors remaining? Like,
yeah, and
so,
also they said that they've already said that they won't be an editor in chief either of like the site. So it sounds like it's going to become like another content mill. I think is the way that's going. So that's bad.
Yeah, shame.
Then we had Giant Bomb. So on the 888th episode of the Giant Bombcast, it was published and then removed, and as far as I understand, it was like half of it was like streamed, and then they just cut off the stream, and then it was gone. And this is because there was like a lengthy section of the show where the hosts were all taking the piss out of these new brand guidelines that have been given to them by Fandom, because Fandom obviously they own Giant Bomb and they want to turn it into like a PG-14 site, which is a bit off considering what Giant Bomb is. Like Dan Reichart talked about this and said he's never going to appear on Giant Bomb again, and because the direction that the Fandom were taking the company was not great. Jeff Grubb has also left as well. He said, well, that was a dream come true. Knew it wouldn't last though. Out of a job at the moment, but always doing Patreon game mess. Do you want to hear what Fandom had to say about this?
Go on.
Not really.
I do.
They said, we understand this programming pause isn't ideal for our audience, but it's part of a strategic reset and realignment of our media brands. We have some creative ideas for the future of Giant Bomb that we're actively working on that we'll be able to communicate more about soon.
The irony of that, talking about a brand that was created as a middle finger to big companies, the birth of Giant Bomb came about when...
Came out of GameSpot,
Was it GameSpot?
Yeah.
It was,
GameSpot, where one of the writers there wrote a damning...
Gersman.
Jeff Gersman wrote
Lynch.
a damning... Was it Kane and Lynch?
It was
yeah,
Kane and
that's
Lynch,
right. And GameSpot was being sponsored by Kane and Lynch. There was a massive row, and he fucked off and created his own thing, and it became massive. There's some, not just him on his own. Ryan Davis, another one, and lots of other people that worked over there. And when they sold, and a lot of Giant Bomb voices went away. I stopped listening. That we had people that were on it that we would consider not friends, but people we've known along the way, like Tamor Hussein has been on this podcast before. Lucy James we know quite well, and it was good to see them keeping it alive, and it still had that sort of gamers first mentality, that sort of we're not being told what to say and what to do mentality. So when you've got a company coming in telling them what to say and what to do, you lose Giant Bomb altogether, and it sucks. It really sucks. You just hope now, and this is what's so important about Patreon. And I know it's hard to listen to me talk about this sort of stuff because we rely on Patreon to keep us going. But I do mean this. This is why Patreon is so important, and I support a few podcasts that I love on Patreon, and I think it's so important because it gives you the opportunity to create media that's not being controlled by a big company. It gives you that opportunity. It's possible to do that. You look at the Nextlander and stuff like that, extreme cases like that. You are directly funding content that you love. And I think that's, as long as it's not, there are potholes. There are some there's some worrying things about manipulation and stuff.
There's worrying stuff about influencers and all that kind of stuff.
Influencers, there is. But
plus, and there must be a capacity for all this stuff, right? Like, how many Patreons can people continue to support before people are just like, I can't do anything.
Yeah, I'm not going to keep doing it. I get that. I totally get that. But I will say is that Patreon's given the opportunity for people to make the content that you want, and this shit about getting bought out by big companies, or and getting shut down or changed in this way, it just makes my fucking sends a shiver down my spine. That being said, if you come in with a fucking 5-figure offer, we will consider it.
I thought you were going to go. That being said, if you've come to us from Giant Bomb, welcome. Like the podcast. There's a really good emergency episode of Remap where they talk about this stuff, and like one
Is
thing
it 5 hours long?
It's
an hour and a half, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty good. The one thing they're very keen to point out is they're like, please don't believe this assumption that because it has, it's been difficult to run a games website for some time now. Like advertised revenues not been what it was for a while, but they were like, please don't believe this notion that, or this assumption that like these sites were not profitable, and that's there's by some logic this had to be done. It's like, no, these sites were managing just fine. They're just not as disgustingly profitable as the new owners would like, and that's why they're making these changes, which I think are probably doomed. I don't think it's going to work.
Sean, imagine being a company that gets the whole concept of what you own wrong.
I know.
Like that's
mad,
what this is.
Let's just buy something we don't understand and ruin it. Like
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Giant Bomb is. I mean, even though it's owned by CBS, it felt indie still, and it's like they've been doing their thing for so long with all the various personalities that have come and gone. They've just been a light in the games industry, and for like fandom saying now we're going to turn it into like a wiki or whatever it is we're going to turn it into. It's like you fundamentally misjudged or misunderstood everything that Giant Bomb stands for, and like that. Yeah. And, the brand will survive, and they'll get new people in, I'm sure. But once again, it won't be the same. But we've had countless times where Giant Bomb has died from various people leaving. I mean, when Jeff left, when Vinny and Alex and and Brad left. It's like, okay, it's definitely gone now. And then we had like a new influx of new blood with Timor's there and Lucy, and then Grub and co. But this really does feel like it is the end, because people will now follow. As you said, James,
it's going to be tainted now because it won't have that. It won't have that same feeling. It's not that. It's what do we own? Giant Bomb, sir. What do people like about it? Well, it feels like they say what they feel. Like they're not beholden to think, right, tell them what to say from now on. Let's get this shit moving. It's just, it's fucking wild.
It's like not even having the self-awareness to just be like, look, I don't get it, but people like it and it makes money, so I'm just going to leave them to it. Like, they can't even do that. It's fucking mad.
Yeah, it's mad.
I remember listening to, I mean, this was ages ago, the Adam and Joe show. I remember like they were basically told by Channel 4, like, look, we don't get it, but people are watching it. So carry on.
See, this has always been my fantasy, though, of like if I came into like tons of money, and I'm talking like hundreds of millions or whatever, I would set up like a gaming website or something. I think like with
what would you call it
and the whole thing. I don't know.
Zone, surely.
Off the top of my head, I can't think.
Well, you're going to have to, because I'm going to push you for an answer, and I won't give up.
Game Can.
Game Can.
Like that. Right. Get a domain now.
Quite a good one.
Can, not can. It can.
Can
where you can game.
Yeah. You can game, a game can.
You can game.
You're a game can or a game
Are you a game canner? Or you're a game spanner?
Or you're a massive can't.
Oh, you can't call him that. It's interesting that James, when it comes to his money, would rather set up a entirely new website and not continue TCGS. Interesting. He wouldn't continue that, but whatever, James. Good luck to you if you win the lottery. I guess that's the last we'll see of you.
I can see that. No, but watching James set up Game Can and then watching that, welcome to Game Can. This is where we're going to be talking. And then 2 years later, going back and it's still just that one post on there.
Yeah, I'm now brand. The brand values of Game Can have changed. We are lazier now.
Anyway, shall we move on to the next story?
Yes, please.
Okay,
I'm glad we got a laugh out of all that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it is sad news, but
and it was like a crazy 24, 48 hours where it was like Polygon and then Giant Bomb, and I heard I heard the deleted segment of episode 888 where they were just ripping into it, and then like Dan did a stream where he was also ripping into it, and that was also deleted. So it's good that they weren't just like that they were actually standing up and saying what they believed in at least. But I hate it. We mean to get loads of new outlets with these people. I'm sure you either separate things or things together, and I'm excited for that. But it's very sad to see one of these. I've kind of dropped off listening to it over the years, but it's always been. I mean, like I think I said to you, James, when we did our split fiction stream the other night, like the E3 Giant Bomb late at night things were like I watch that every year. Like that was amazing. We had like Jeff and everyone on the couch, and even more recent years without Jeff and Alex and co. It's just great. That was E3. It was like E3 was conferences, and in the evening it was the Giant Bomb stuff where anything could happen, and it was great conversations with other journalists and also execs and stuff. It's just a really great vibe. And obviously E3's gone, and now that's gone, and Giant Bomb's gone. It's just very sad.
I saw other people saying, "Oh man, their E3 and Game of the Year stuff was unbeatable," and I thought, "I get your own ideas, guys." Come on.
Yeah, no, we
I mean, I did used to love I used to love their Game of the Year stuff, but then again, it changed.
Better.
I mean, obviously ours was better, but that was a Christmas tradition. Listen to the 5 or 6 episodes they did, were each like 3 or 4 hours long, when they debate endlessly about the top 10s, and it's all changed now, and we've got things like Nextland and other outlets and Jeff's own stuff, but it's just sad.
It is.
Right.
More sad news is that hundreds of jobs have also been lost to EA because they've got rid of 2 Respawn game projects. So according to Bloomberg, these included an extraction shooter set in the Titanfall universe that was close to release, but that's been canned now. And so
it says it's not close to release.
Oh yeah, sorry, not close to release. Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
Looking forward to
it's been game canned.
James Farley's Game Can website getting everything wrong.
Well, no, I will not be. I'm not going to be the face of any of Game Can. I'm just.
You're just a mysterious funder.
I'm just a mysterious benefactor. Yeah.
Why the fuck would anyone ever go to that website then?
You're the face. You're the talent, James. Why would you buy it?
What do you mean?
I can hire loads of people that are great. I'd hire good people.
Who would you hire?
But not us,
not me.
crucially.
Yeah, again, once again, not us.
I mean, sure, there's better people out there, let's be honest.
Yeah, lots of great people out.
Come on.
Who's better at podcasting than us?
Yeah, go on then, James.
I don't know.
Interesting.
You're going to hire the Apocalypse Gamers, aren't you?
Apocalypse Players, yeah.
That's the one.
Them all-star from Polygon.
They are like double award winners.
They are award winning.
So it's
online.
Seems to be triple award winners. Don't forget that.
Yeah. Anyway, can I move on?
Yeah, Game Can.
Yeah. So anyway, a further 200 to 300 people have been also have lost their positions in other departments at EA. And Respawn are going to continue to work on Apex Legends content and a 3rd entry in the Star Wars Jedi series. Do you want to hear the quote from EA about this?
Yep.
Go on.
I mean, it's the usual. These decisions. I mean, these decisions aren't easy, and we're deeply grateful to every teammate affected. Their creativity and contributions have helped build Respawn into what it is today. We're offering meaningful support to those impacted, including exploring new opportunities within EA. So yeah, that's a shame.
Yeah, no, it sucks. And you know how much I love the Titanfall series, the world and everything, and there was all those rumours coming about a month ago. I think this is one of those things where it's people like journalists were getting little bits of information out of Respawn and putting them together and like getting it wrong because or actually it could have been because you all heard all those rumours like a few weeks back about how there was a new Titanfall ready to go.
Yeah.
You know, all that. I wonder if that was leaked in a final attempt to try and save.
Yeah,
possibly. Yeah.
Like, look, everyone gives a shit. Like,
yeah, everyone's excited for it. We shouldn't.
For Titanfall. I wonder. It sucks, man, because that game series was incredible, and I know that it's not coming back now. It's just got that feeling that they're never going to return to it, and it's such a shame. That series had such a shit fucking. Do you remember they released like one of them at the same day at COD? And they did all sorts of weird stuff like that.
Has there been another series that's been, like the mismatch between quality and commercial success is just so strong.
Also,
Leisure Suit Larry. I've always said it, Sean. I've always said it.
They're all getting pulled from Steam. You got to buy them now, Dave. Have you heard about this?
What?
Apparently, the publisher's pulling them all from Steam.
Quick,
They're pulling off Leisure Suit Larry.
Yeah, pulling him right off.
That's a new release.
Matt.
No, that wasn't wasn't. It's coming soon.
It fucking kills me. Like because you would think the appeal of Titanfall is broad enough. Like the cool big budget first person shooters. like there's nothing, it's not like, oh well, I can see why people would struggle to get into that. No, absolutely not. They're so immediately fun and inventive, and just they're fucking great games. And
What kills me is
why
that
they've struggled so much.
when Titanfall is dead, someone's going to do like Robot Warfare and release that. And it's like, with one of the developers that worked on Titanfall, and we're going to play it and go, oh, come on, man. Don't try and sell us this.
I mean, someone needs to do something, because EA clearly haven't been able to, so someone needs to take it somewhere. I was thinking, like, if someone else had this IP, if Ubisoft had it, they would also probably have screwed it. Or maybe done so many versions of it.
I kind of
it would have diluted it.
343. There's my answer. Look.
You mean Halo Studios?
Yes. Yeah, or Halo Studios now.
That's right. Rebranded. Yeah.
But I genuinely think if Microsoft bought Titanfall, they could do something with it. Like genuinely. And I think you say what you want about 343 and the recent Halo games, they've not been great. I think a lot of them has been trying and recreate the magic of the first game, and not having the balls to just like do their own thing with it.
Yeah.
I would love to see what they did with the Titanfall series, because there's less.
Nothing they'll try and do the same thing here. Try and recreate the same feelings of the second game.
But I don't think that's happened enough. But no, also I don't, because I don't think the audience is as passionate as it is for Halo. I don't think there's that fear that we don't want to piss off the core Halo fans.
No, it doesn't have
whereas
all
really
the lore books and all that kind of stuff. And,
really, you take Titanfall, you could create something special with that. Who would you have, Matt?
Well, I was thinking, I'm not sure who would even do anything. I mean,
don't shit on my idea if you haven't got one in the can.
I'll
do
all,
game
mate.
can.
Do all, mate. Well, okay, Bungie.
Okay, well, let's give it to Bungie then. Let them buy it. Next.
Okay, last story is that apparently Halo 3 is not just in development, it is now
Halo 3? Shit!
Halo 3? Oh my god.
Oh my god! Are you serious, James? Halo 3 is in development.
Is this real?
Tell
James?
me you're bullshitting.
Yeah, we could continue. I mean, you could let me finish the sentence, Matt, before you start your
Go on,
phone
then.
rubbish.
I mean, he did say Halo 3.
Oh no, hold it up. Right, let him finish the sentence, and we see where we've gone wrong, and he hasn't. Go on.
Okay.
Halo 3 is not just in development; it's now playable end to end. Leaker suggests.
Right.
Okay.
Say that again.
Yeah.
Say that
third
again.
time?
Okay. Halo 3 is not just in development. It's
What are you doing on purpose, James? Halo 3. Are you
Say
saying
that again.
Halo 3 is not just in development. It's
Slow down.
What is happening here?
Slow down. Think about what you're saying. You are an idiot. You're an idiot.
Read the story.
Is never lasting more than a day. Read
What?
the story again.
Oh shit! I just realised what I've been doing. What the hell is wrong with me? What the hell is wrong with me?
My favourite bit, Matt, was when he went, "If you let me finish." If you let me finish.
You said that 3 or 4 times.
It's your fault talking about 343 Studios and
It's
stuff.
not our fault, though, James, is it? It's not our fault. It's your fault,
God.
isn't it? It's the game can.
Newshound strikes again.
That was terrible. That is, I think that's possibly the worst thing I've ever done. I know it's not, but
Game can's dead.
Good.
No. Go on.
Okay.
Jesus.
Halo
Okay, once more.
Read it properly.
Half-Life 3 is not just in development, it's now playable end-to-end, according to a leaker. So this is according to a Valve insider called Tyler McVicker, who reckons it's going to be announced as early as this summer with a possible release at the end of 2025. So according to him, he said the game is not VR. Half-Life 3 is not a VR title. It's being play-tested so religiously and so widely that there are individuals who will just talk. I personally have a policy of avoiding any story-related questions or information wherever possible, so I currently have avoided all of them. But I've been offered it by people whom are trustworthy, and I know some of my contemporaries have been given it, so there is information out there about the plot. Then he also said that Portal 3 could be the next single-player project developed at Valve after Half-Life 3.
Single-player? They wouldn't go single-player with Portal 3, would they?
Well, I mean, single and co-op.
Yeah, I mean,
I suppose
Yeah.
I forgot that 2.
It's not a multiplayer game.
Single
it's a
player as
co-op
well,
game.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Two was a co-op game. Two was a co-op play.
Sure,
I
else
thought
was a co-op mode.
it was primarily
Halo 3.
single player, though, wasn't it?
Sorry? Yeah, it was primarily. I forgot about that. I think it's because I played that last, like the co-op stuff. Look, we get this news story every 2 to 3 years. Do you remember when it was nailed on to be announced at E3? I think it was like the last E3.
Like some people said they heard rumours. Yeah. No.
Someone said that, and you were going. You did the spiel that you're about to do now. Matt. But the thing is, the last Half-Life game wasn't that long ago, was it, Matt? So it doesn't really. It's not that big of a deal, is it?
I mean, Alex was still. What's that?
Please admit that it didn't
like
count
5 years ago,
please.
wasn't
Well, of course it counts. It's like it has major plot ramifications.
Yeah,
yes, it's
only
VR.
about 3 people played it.
Not 3 people, clearly not. Halo 3, shut the fuck up. Yes.
More people played Halo 3, Matt.
Possibly, but, you know.
It's not
They
out
did
yet,
that
so-
Yeah, good point. It's in development. It's coming soon.
Playable from start to finish, actually.
Yeah.
Look, I don't know what to think about this at this point. I would love a Half-Life 3. I don't believe it. Until it's announced, I won't believe any of this shit. I've believed it too many times and been stung.
So,
Well, plus, I don't know what it could do now to justify the hype. Do you know what I mean? Maybe,
yeah,
I mean,
but
maybe
nothing's
it's
ever-
a
I
bit
don't
of
think
imagination
anything
on
will
my
ever
part,
justify the
but-
hype. I don't think you can release anything that will justify the hype, really.
Yeah.
Even if it's a 10 out of 10, it'll still be like, man, we've waited 25 years or whatever for this. And it's not about that. But I'm not sure if any of you watched the Danny O'Dwyer no clip Half-Life documentary. And they basically do, they towards the end, they're like, hey, look, we're always working on things, but they don't really want to release something unless they know they've got a great idea or great new technology, had like physics in 2 and this and that, and they went to VR. So it was clear even from that they were hinting that they were doing something, and I bet they've always probably been working on something, but certainly the team have left and whatnot now. But I get excited every time because I fucking love Half-Life, but who really knows? But seems like there's some credence here. Yes, James.
Stealing a joke from Blue Sky, how would you feel if it turns out this is an extraction shooter?
Well, I mean, Team Fortress was a great multiplayer, so as is CS and stuff, but it won't be. So I'm not worried about that.
Can you imagine getting hired to work on Half-Life 3 and just turning up day one, just being like, "Well, we don't do
Here's a
anything,
VR
do we?"
headset.
I just assume I was going in to put my feet up and just be like, haha, imagine if we made Half-Life 3.
Yeah, because like when Valve bought Campo Santo, and like it was like Sean Vanneman and Jay Rodkin, I know they were working at, was it Curse of the Gods or whatever it was, that got canned, and then I think they're both credited as writers for Alex, Half-Life Alex. So maybe they're working on this as well. I mean, yeah, this is incredibly exciting, but who really knows? And I'll believe it when I see it. But imagine if we get another Half-Life. I mean, I love that the fan made Half-Life 1 remake. I thought that was excellent. So I'll be up for anything new Half-Life.
But once again, if it comes out, you're the only one on the pod who's going to be able to play it with your
PC.
It'd be
With
very
your
funny if
big
I'm
boy
able
PC.
to play it as well.
I mean, not if it's anything like the RTX demo, I won't. But who knows?
I love a new era of Valve though, and I do hope that they release on consoles same day as PC. To be honest with you, like
They
that
sort of have to.
You've got to
right?
imagine they
I,
will.
I think
but
so at this date.
I don't think
this
they will.
time,
I reckon it'll be PC only.
sounds like bet.
what to shift what Steam Decks or
I don't
any
know,
kind of
they'll
Valve
just make
hardware?
it
Run on
only.
the deck.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, there's no way it's running on a deck. If it's running on a deck, they're going to release it on everything. I think.
Be on the Switch One.
I think a new era of Valve where we get new Counter-Strike, new Half-Life, fucking new Left 4 Dead. New Left 4 Dead, so we won't have to go, here's a game that's a bit like Left 4 Dead, but not as good. We actually get a new Left 4
But we
Dead.
won't, because the whole team left and they did Evolve and other games. So I don't think we're going to get one of them.
That's fucking
that's a
dreadful.
Shame.
No, but
No, it wasn't that. It was
that
that wasn't Evolve. There's the other one.
It was that, what was it called?
Blood,
Back for Blood.
Back for
Yeah,
Blood.
that
Yeah.
was not
They
that
did,
game.
yeah, they did. It was Evolve was them as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
God, terrible. Just I want a new Left 4 Dead though. That's exactly the same. Don't add cards. Don't add like weird shit. I just want it exactly the same. Or like a fucking why don't they just release like a double pack, like upgraded graphics, but it's
Another
the same
orange
game.
box.
£20. Lovely
I've
old
never
job.
looked
Left 4
into
Dead
it.
games.
Apparently, the mod scene for Left 4 Dead 2 is fucking nuts on PC.
It's great, but I want to play it on. I don't know. That game, I adored that so much.
But yeah,
okay.
if a new Half-Life comes out and captures the same mood, I'm going to be extremely excited. But we'll believe it when I see it.
Shall we get away from the news, or have you got a?
No. That is all the news.
Got cheeky if I fancy to.
Yeah.
It's time to get to what you've been playing, and we've got quite a few games in front of us. Some new ones, some ones we've spoken about before. Should we start with the new game that we've all been playing?
Yeah.
Despelote? Is that correct?
Yeah.
Despelote. We've all played Despelote on. Is it on everything then? Because I played it on PS5.
It's on PS5. Switch. Yeah, PS5, Xbox, PC, no Switch.
Oh, no Switch. Okay, right. That's
at least not yet.
Interesting. Despelote is an indie game set in Ecuador in 1996, I believe it begins in the build up to the 2000.
Well, it jumps around a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it starts in 96 and then
bulk of it's 2001.
Yeah. So 96 was the year that they won their first gold medal, and that started. So basically, it tells the story in Ecuador where they win their first gold medal in 1996, and that creates a new interest in sport within the country, which then goes on to generate a football team that could potentially qualify for the World Cup in 2002. And the story is not necessarily, it's about football, but it's not about football. It's about how football can affect communities. And it is about an hour and a half long. It's about £12, and we have all completed it over the weekend. It came out on Friday, right?
Yeah.
It's been getting mixed write-ups, I think it's fair to say.
I've only seen really incredibly positive ones.
Yeah. I've only seen like 9 out of 10.
I have not. Okay, all right. Well, I'm interested to hear what you think of it, and I want to hear from Sean first, because we're all football fans apart from Sean, and I think it's an interest. Well, I think most of the stuff that I've read is from people that are not really into football, but still appreciate what the game had to say. But I'm interested to hear how you reacted to it, Sean.
So I really enjoyed it. It's definitely interesting because, growing up in the UK, or especially England, not being into football, like you're not allowed, right? It's not like, what do you mean you don't like football? What do you mean you don't support anyone? What do you mean you don't support Man U? What's fucking wrong with you, right? Like, so football's just everywhere. It's just part of the atmosphere. And also, am I right in assuming that us being in the World Cup is just a given, right? Like that's just...
yeah.
I guess these days, we always qualify incredibly well.
Yeah.
That is, that is one of those things where it's expected. I think rather than a given, it's expected. We should be at the World Cup. We should qualify for the European Championships. Yeah.
And people go crazy when it doesn't happen.
When it doesn't happen, it is a national disaster. Yeah.
Yeah. National tragedy.
So I think now as an adult, I see more of how football brings people together and the communities around it and stuff, and that's very cool. But as a kid, it very much felt like a division thing. So to play this, and the main character is younger than we were at the time, but watching, experiencing a love of football through the eyes of a child who, he's like I say, going through this experience of like, holy shit, we might actually qualify for the World Cup, and how that energizes and excites everyone, especially because the Ecuador's going through loads of like economic turmoil at the time. There's mad shit about like the coach gets shot, and it's basically an open, like, everyone knows that it was like the previous president who arranges it, and so anyway, there's loads of stuff going on.
Well, I'm interested because one of the things I thought while I was playing it, Sean, I'm interested to see what you think. Did you think that it was trying to say that football at that point in those bits specifically early on in the game, did you think it was trying to say that football was a good distraction, or a distraction being utilized to avoid real issues that were going on? Because I thought there was a fine line between, and I didn't
That's an interesting
quite
question.
understand what
I
it was
certainly saw it as the former. Like, all this bad stuff was going on, but hey, thank fuck for the football team, right? That was how I saw it. And obviously, yeah, you playing as this kid who is obsessed with football, and it's like it's his entire, like that's his language, right? Like there's, I don't want to spoil some of the later stuff, but there are other situations where you're like, well, no one here is playing football, but it's like it's his only lens on the world, and the only way to sort of interact with the things around him is to kick stuff around. And and sometimes that's like, it's really interesting some of the stuff you can do with that. I think I probably didn't make enough use of, because there's a couple of like sort of sandboxy bits, right, where you're just in town and you can kind of run around, do what you want. I was sort of following the obvious cues, but I think there's probably a lot of like little interactions and stuff that you can get into if you go off the beaten path a bit. I don't think I'm going to replay it, but I think certainly there's probably some potential I missed out on there. Yeah, I just thought it was a really interesting window, a sort of semi-autobiographical tale. Of just this one kid's life.
Yeah, there's points where the developer cuts in, right, and just starts talking directly to you. Yeah,
and he even admits like look, this is the stuff that changed. Like I was kind of too young to really remember this, but then that plays into how so many of these segments, like I said, it jumps around time-wise, and it is sort of, because his memories are so fragmented of this time, like he kind of doesn't remember a lot of it clearly.
And that's visualized as well really well, I think, where some bits are quite grainy and doesn't remember some bits are incredibly clear.
The visual style's really interesting. It's got that kind of Return of the Obra Dinn sort of look where everything's sort of two colours, but then there are things that are sort of hand drawn, sort of overlaid on that, sort of characters and stuff.
Like flat pictures of like there's like a robot you can interact with, or stereo, and they're kind of like flat on a 2D.
Or even your parents have flat drawings.
Most people,
which I think is a really nice way of sort of directing you towards things you can interact with, or things maybe.
Yeah, for sure.
It's kind of tough to talk about without spoiling it. Not that there's any sort of major like holy shit story reveals. It's just lots of little twists I thought were really interesting, and I don't want to risk spoiling them for others.
I really want to talk to you about those twists then, because I mean openly, I'll be heads up. I think it fouled at a lot of what it was trying to do, and I didn't enjoy. I think it was a little bit too repetitive. I think it was quite dull in places.
There's definitely a few bits where I wasn't sure where I was supposed to be going, or what I was supposed to be doing.
Yeah, for sure.
Sort of falls down a bit.
That's true. But you see, the thing, what I liked about this, because I like this quite a lot. I thought it was really interesting, and the reason I found it interesting was because it's not a game, really. Like, not really. Like, it is, but it's like...
So what, I was thinking as I was playing it feels more like a walking simulator, right, than a video game. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And also, the whole thing is completely like that, what they call, like, slice of life, like, genre, in the sense of, there's bits which are boring, where it's just, there's not much to do or whatever like that, because they're trying to simulate that. Like, the idea that when you have fragmented memories of things that have happened in the past, there is a lot of things which don't make sense or don't, it doesn't matter, and it's just... That's just life. That's just like living this sort of experience.
Yeah, I think you can represent that in a better way than having the player just feel a little bit bored and uninterested in what's going on.
But the thing is like as an 8-year-old,
that's it. Yeah, I think it represents that really well.
Being like that a lot of the time, being bored, and there not being much to do. And I know that from a gameplay perspective, that's not very interesting. Like it's not. But as a just like an examination of like what this is like when you're that kind of age, I thought it did that pretty well. Like I thought it came off.
Yeah, they could definitely make a more funner game or maybe more interactive game, but I think that perfectly encapsulates what it's like to be, young. And, I used to play football loads in like the estate I grew up in and look after my sister and this and that. And, you look after sister or take, hide and seek and little bits. It just felt very kind of, hey, come back here for a certain time, check your watch. That felt very much like being a young kid in an estate where all you really got was football.
What Matt's referring to is that there's a bit where you're in a park and your mum says, right, get home before 6:30 and then you can go off and do what you want. My problem was that the world felt very limited as to what you could do in that space.
Yeah,
And you may say, yeah, well, like you're an 8-year-old. Well, no, not really, because if I went into a shop and started booted something against the wall, something would happen. It felt not as interactive as maybe as it should have been. There were moments where I was like distracted with a cone on a bin that I was trying to boot the footballer to knock it off, and I was like, oh no, that really works. That represents that sort of weird curiosity of when you were a kid, you had a football, you make up rules. Right, try and kick it in that square 3 times in a row, whatever, and that feel. And if you do it, you win the World Cup. You know, it's like stuff like that, right? So we got that stuff down, but then you'd look around and there's nothing else to do there. And I was kind of like, okay, that's look, I get it. Growing up can be boring. I think when you're presenting it as a piece, and especially a piece that's an hour and 20 minutes long that I've paid 12 quid for, I don't want to actually be bored. I want to actually have things to do within this world and interact with and represent that feeling in different ways other than it's a bit, repetitive and a bit dull. And
I mean, the argument you could make is, which I don't know if this is what the developers say, but like in terms of like the amount of interactivity and stuff like that, the whole point for me when I was playing this was that they're presenting like fragments of memories. Like this is not complete. Like this is not a complete simulation of being. I know this is a bullshit answer, but
no, it's not. No, I get what you're saying.
But I also
there is one bit that completely fucks that. and my point is that so it does this thing, and if you want to know nothing about this going in, then please fast forward and it
is only like a 2-hour game or whatever.
It's a very short game, but it has this whole thing about fragments of imagination, and the moment when it tries to show you the real space, I fucking belly laughed, because I was just oh no, this is what it really looked like, and I was like, no, it's not. This world couldn't exist. So it does this trick if you don't want to play it. And again, if you don't want spoilers, fast forward. But it does this thing where you've looked at this grainy footage and these sort of fragmented memories that James is talking about. It has a bit where it says, right, now here's what the park really looked like. You snap your fingers, but it is the messiest.
Yeah.
I thought it was broken. I thought the game had broken.
I know exactly
and I had to look it up to realise that it was
real. Yeah, because he does say it's like a 3D scan of the environment. I'm like, hang on. Is my game fucked?
Was it a 3D scan of the environment made in like 1995?
Yeah, that's what it
like. Well, or from his memories.
It's weird. I mean, because it's such a cool idea.
Yeah, and it would have been an amazing moment.
Yeah, that moment of like, oh, is this worked? Is what's happening? Like, it's like kind of spoils it. It's
and the way the narrator was talking was like, now settle down. Something amazing's gonna happen in this game. And I was like, what the fuck is this?
I'll tell you. Aside from that, though, one of the things that I thought, for me anyway, really did work was the football, in the sense of it being like a draw. Because, and when I first started playing, there's it has like the kickoff rip-off game you're playing.
Yeah, like Sensible Soccer, whatever it is, yeah.
And it's like you're playing that, and there's all the conversation that's going on around you. I did find myself kind of just tuning that out and just playing the football game, because I was like, I'm actually digging this. This is like, this is fun. Just like playing this and just ignoring it. And there were so many moments when I was playing the game where I found myself like drawn to the TV sets. And just like I ended up just sitting there and watching the football on the TV sets.
Because that's one thing.
Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah,
isn't it? That even though it's this Obra-Dinn sort of visual style, there's video of football matches and stuff, and you can just stand there and watch the game.
Yeah,
you can't though, because it resets it, and that I think that's the bit that felt wrong to me.
Yeah, but again, it's a fragment of a memory. You only remember that part of the match.
There's a scene in a party where you go up and you watch a bit of the match, and it just loops. And I'm like, you didn't need to do that. I mean, maybe
I got grabbed. I got grabbed by my mum, who pulled me away from the TV.
Well, you probably got to the end of the loop. Like, I started watching it straight away, and it was like 10 minutes left. And then I walked back, and it was like 5 minutes left. And I walked back, and it was 10 minutes left again. I was like, when you start, I don't know. Look, I appreciate what it was trying to do, and I think it succeeds in some areas. I think it makes you feel like a little boy that's obsessed with football. I think it had some interesting things to say that it didn't quite complete. Like the question I asked you, Sean, about whether it was treating football as a distraction or a healthy thing. The scenes where the newspaper salesman, I think that was what was making me think, is the narrator here trying to say, look, this was used as a way to distract us from the shit that's going on in the country? Because
it's all very obvious, isn't it?
They would say there's scenes where a newspaper salesman would say, Ecuador one win away from making the World Cup. We're also adopting another country's, at the end of it.
And I was like, well, destroying the country.
Exactly, And there was part of me that was kind of like, look, it's not a game that I would recommend. That's where I come away from this. And I say, did I enjoy it and was it a memorable experience? Probably not. I think for me, there was too many moments where I thought, this is kind of failing in doing what it wants you to do. And I'm surprised that it's been getting 9 out of 10s. Like I wouldn't be up there with that. A 9 out of 10 for me is a game that I can turn around to people and say, you've got to play this. Even if you're not into football, man, you should be playing this. But I think a lot of people might buy this off the back of those reviews and go, I mean, it was all right. Like, I'm not saying it's a bad game, and I think it does some interesting stuff visually, and I think it's got a lot to say, and I think it's quite nice to have that feeling of, whatever you say about this country and the difference it has with, say, somewhere like Ecuador when it comes to football. That scene where you're walking through like an area and everyone's watching the football and the fucking streets are empty. I've experienced that here,
Yeah.
Where there's a big game on and you walk through and all the pubs are rammed or whatever. Or even like I work in New Malden, which is a big Korean community, and when you walk down the high street when Korea are playing the World Cup, it's hilarious. Like there's like fucking, you can walk into the shops, you're not getting served. Like it's so like I get that, and I think that's a really cool representation of that. But I do feel as an experience, I felt it lacked a bit. That was my reaction.
I get that. But I just enjoyed it as an experience, and as a kind of looking at this from a different perspective, from like different country, different sort of history of how things have gone. I just I dug it. What about you, Matt?
Yeah, well, so I had only heard incredible reviews for this. I hadn't read any, but I saw it got like 5 out of 5 in Eurogamer and really high elsewhere, and I was left also just really disappointed in it. Like I think it really, as a football lover, it really captures a football fever happening in the country and all the things David just mentioned. I think the graphics are really interesting, but I like the things we talked about earlier about really kind of capturing what it feels like to be just a young child, and all you're really obsessed with is football, and all you'll do is kick a football. Even when you lose your football, there's other things to use the football. Like, I think that really captured it really well. But I just
totally.
I didn't really.
That was
left.
Good,
I was left feeling a little bit cold, and like I just didn't really feel as ingratiated into it as I thought I would be. It doesn't necessarily do anything wrong. I just didn't really think much of it, really. I mean, I'm not sure I'd recommend it either. I mean, the whole like 2 hours for £12, that doesn't bother me, because I think I can get. I think it's still. I don't feel like I was ripped off, because they delivered what they clearly want to deliver, but it just wasn't really for me, and it's a bit disappointing, really. But I mean, I actually watched, just for the pod, I watched the Eurogamer video review of it. It's like, I guess like it was Ian, I guess, reading out someone else's words, and I can't actually. They were obviously incredibly glowing, so they gave it 5 out of 5, and I can't actually go against any of the things they said. I just felt nothing for those things. Like, I think all the things that they mentioned on the Eurogame review are valid, about the sense of place, about it's one boy against the world, and all the stuff about football, and all the interactions we just mentioned, but it just didn't do anything for me, like, emotionally, like I thought it would do.
Whereas for me, I felt it did. I really enjoyed it.
Well, let's all have a fight then.
Yeah. Pricks.
It's the only way to figure it out, isn't it?
Yeah. But I thought I'd be on my own, David, on see, because I heard it's got such great reviews, and I thought you'd all just come back and say it's absolutely incredible. But yeah, it just wasn't for me. I'm not saying it's a bad game, it just wasn't for me.
Yep. Okay, is that enough, or did you want to defend it a bit more? I don't know. It feels like I kind of shat on it.
No, because it's. I mean, yeah. I as I said, I completely understand your criticisms and like how you felt about it. It's just, I didn't have that feeling really from playing it.
And I suppose for me, it's interesting because I feel like a lot of the reviews, or certainly some of the ones I've seen, are like, hey, I think I like this because I really love football, whereas I'm kind of the opposite. I'm like, no, I think I found it interesting because to me, it was a window into a world I've sort of, not only with it being in another country, but also I've never been into football. And so to me, that felt like quite a valuable...
so like there's a moment in this game that I thought that wouldn't have had that sort of like connection with you. Where you're in the classroom and the teacher's talking and you just look over to a few kids playing football.
I love that. Kick about and
that was like, oh fuck. That was pretty much every day at my school. I would look out the window and just think, I wish I was out there playing football and not in here listening to Sir. But again, it's not supposed to be about us feeling like, I remember all this, because it's not. Like, it's a different way of life and it was a different thing. I can see how just getting to the World Cup is like, it must be some huge event in places that don't usually get there, So I could totally see that. And it was a good way of expressing that. I just thought as an experience, it could have been a little bit more than what it was. And I felt a little bit lacking of it. So, it's one of those, I don't want to slag it off, because there's nothing to really slag it off.
No, I don't think it's a bad game. Like I said, I agree. I all the things in your game with you, I agree with. It just didn't speak to me at all, and I just left quite cold about it.
This is often the case, though, with like these sort of like slice of life kind of experiences. It's like whether they resonate with you or not, and some do, some don't. It's just.
What was that fucking game? What was that game?
Which one?
That we argued about two or 3 years ago?
Was that Hindsight?
Hindsight.
Oh, the one you nominated as one of your game of the years, wasn't it?
I still want one of you two to play that, to pick a side of your Team David or Team James on that. Holy shit, it was a bad game. Right. Clair Obscur Expedition 33 was a game that we spoke about last week. I have joined the expedition. I'm nearly 5 hours in. I didn't realise 4.5 hours, 5 hours in. A couple of deaths, I think, has set my clock back a little bit. So, like, my in-game clock's a little bit. You said last week that this is probably the closest you'll come to liking a JRPG, or that it's the best opportunity, right? Yeah. That I've got of liking a JRPG, and I think you're right. I think it's the closest I'll come. I don't think I'll ever love one of these games. Like, I think there are tropes of JRPGs that I just don't appreciate, that I just don't click with, and I think playing this. There's stuff about JRPGs that I think I wish it was in more games. Like the whole world building stuff and that whole high concept world building. Like the fucking story behind Expedition 33 is insane. Like it's one of those things that you sit down and go, how's anyone actually come up with this? And
and presented it so matter of factly, like
it's a great concept.
The world works. Deal with it.
yeah. And it's kind of like, it's this whole thing about this big threat that's over like humanity, and it's all like there's no ropes in the game. There these magical sparks that you fly up. It's everything's weird. Like the area that I'm in at the moment is underwater, but the water sort of floats around like it's in space, and you go. What? So, okay, you're being weird, but like I kind of love that, and I kind of wish all that stuff was in more games. But there are tropes in JRPGs that I really can't like speech patterns for some reason in JRPGs. And I know this isn't a JRPG. This is like developed in France, right?
It's for all intents and purposes,
but obviously it's clearly inspired by JRPGs, right? Like I've always struggled with the way characters talk to each other in JRPGs, and it really sort of hit me when I played the Final Fantasy VII remake, in the fact that everyone's just barking catchphrases or quotes at each other all the time, or like dramatic, like, where are we going? I'm going down here. But why? Because it's where I'm supposed to be. And I'm like, none of it feels like natural dialogue. But then in ways, the characters are saying more than you would in a lot of, like for example, South of Midnight, where, there's a lot of natural dialogue, but a lot of it is babble and filler. And, and I feel that in terms of a concept around the world, both are high concept games. They both look at narrative in sort of a very fantastical way, and there's all this weird stuff going on. This nails it better than South of Midnight. South of Midnight has a very matter of fact way of putting things towards you, whereas Expedition 33 is just very blunt with it all. This is the world you're in. You'll slowly start working it out, but it's really bleak and dramatic and stuff like that. But I think ultimately I'm quite enjoying. Like I think you said last week, James, that what really surprises you is that the characters aren't annoying, and that is something that is definitely a problem with the Final Fantasy VII remake game. There are a number of characters in that when they talk, I just want to go fuck off, just fuck off. Like I fucking hate you. Go. You don't get that with this game, right? Like every character feels like they've got a little bit more about them, and they're not just there as a sort of quick comedic reliefs or just wild quips or anything like that. I do feel like sometimes it and maybe I'm overstepping the mark here, because remember I'm still relatively early on. I do feel like sometimes the plot sort of plays into that male fantasy role of, hey, he's kind of a laid back sort of nerdy lead character or whatever, and he's surrounded by beautiful women that sort of flirt with him all the time.
He's an inventor, but also he can fight really good, and also he looks like Robert Pattinson, and
that stuff is all and all that stuff sort of like makes me go, okay, but I hate it when it's like obvious enough to go, oh, you're playing to a type, you're playing to an audience. But I think ultimately I'm 5 hours in and I'm still really enjoying it. I think what helps is that I've knocked down the difficulty of the combat, and I think it's way more interactive. I've seen a lot of people saying, oh, it's a bit like the Mario and Luigi games, where you've got these timed events with the button presses as you're playing it. It's not. It's way more.
No, it's a lot more dynamic than that.
Yeah, way more dynamic. Way more dynamic. Like getting the timing right of some of the dodging is really fucking tricky. It feels more like a rhythm action game at times.
I still haven't got that down. I mean, I've given up parrying, unless it's like a group parry, because you can do that. Like I try them every time, but I basically try dodging. I mean, I still can never really get the window done or down, but when I do, it feels satisfying at least. But
the parries are great. You get such good damage when you fire back after a parry.
Yeah, I'm just struggling to get them down, but I'll get down.
That was one thing so I've knocked the difficulty down now as well.
Sorry, just on that, like
story mode or whatever.
Yeah.
Is that overall game or just like combat specific, or is that how's it work, the difficulty stuff?
Well, this is my problem with it. Is what I want is I still want the damage amounts and stuff to stay the same. I just want more lenient timing on the quick time stuff. But you can't separate them, I don't think. You literally it's like, right, so you take fuck all damage and the timing stuff is easier. And I'm like, okay, that's sort of made it a bit trivial. I think I do prefer it. Like it's because I really enjoy the RPG stuff, and I'm shit at precise timing with parries and what have you. So I'm kind of like, well, the precise timing stuff is not why I'm here. So I'm happy to turn the difficulty down for that stuff. So I think I'm probably enjoying it more now on story mode. But I can see why, if you're into action games, you'd be like, oh no, actually this makes it really enjoyable. Whereas I'm kind of like, I'm not saying I would rather it wasn't there. I think it's really well done. It's really engaging. But yeah, I'd be happier with harder RPG element stuff, but easier timing.
It's great that it's that turn based, but it feels so dynamic with the kind of in game, with the things you're having to do when the opponent's taking their turn. It feels like, why haven't many other people done this in the past? It makes every battle fun and interactive and engaging.
I think that's the other thing that puts me off with these games, is that I don't want to have to fucking read things before I fight every enemy. And it feels like it's like, no, you need to sort of understand what attack type is really going to affect. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. But when you knock it down to story mode, you don't really need to do that. There are still
that anyway.
Yeah, and there are still enemies that can kick your ass. Like that mime guy really fucking well. I mean, if he hits you once, you're dead, and you've got to hit him a lot to kill him. And I thought that with the trumpet dude. You know the trumpet dude?
They're fuckers. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, but then once I'd worked out the pattern, I was like, oh, I haven't been hit this whole time. It's taken me a long time to chip away at him.
Yeah.
But I understand all his movesets now, so I can just avoid them all.
See, that's the thing. I think
my issue with the QuickTime stuff is, like I'm just not really up for, like, oh, you're just gonna have to get hit by this new guy a few times before you've learned the timing. Do you know what I mean?
But that's no different to Souls
Dark
games,
Souls,
right?
Yeah.
But I hate that shit in Souls games as well.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah,
I'm a dodge man. I
you.
don't parry anything. Like, but I mean, story wise, so I'm. What did you say? I think I was like 18 hours in. I think Dave said.
You're also getting pretty close to the end now.
Well, no.
Oh no, is it 30 odd? Isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm in Act 2, I believe. I'm not. Obviously, I'm not. I'm going to be very vague. I'm not going to spoil anything. I mentioned to James where I was up to.
Yeah.
And God love him, he kept quiet because I was on the verge of something. Yeah. Fucking hell, there's some big swings in this game. I'm impressed.
Yeah, I think all I said was just like, let me know when you're at the end of Act 2.
You crack on.
Part of me wants to get there, but part of me knows that I'm not going to. Like, I'm going to get to the point where I'm a little bit tired of it, and as I said to you guys today, is there a way of finding where you're supposed to go next? And the answer is no, not really. It just
I mean, it's a lit path. Like, there are massive lanterns. That's the main path.
Yeah, but there are times where, like, so the area where you're in the underwater area, everything looks so generic and the same. That you can lose your way, and that lit path is not saying with arrows this way. So sometimes I've ended up in places where I'd already been because I'd followed the wrong path or whatever.
Yeah, like a mini map is.
The fact there's no mini map is wild.
I mean,
it's infuriating. That is infuriating. Like, I will say this: the game is beautiful, and in fact, actually, from a technical level, it's the first time I've played a game that I've gone, oh, when you switch it to 30 frames mode, it looks way better. Like,
I haven't done that yet.
But I can't handle 30 frames, so I have to switch it back. But
can't even do that on Series S. It's only There's no options whatsoever.
Really?
For doing that. No.
Mate, honestly, in 30 frames, what was it, visual mode or whatever they call it? It looks like, usually with a game you're like, looks slightly better, but I much prefer the 60 frames. With this one, I was genuinely thinking about just playing it on 30 and getting used to it. Because, holy shit, that game looks absolutely... I just did that thing where I burped and then carried on there. Sorry about that.
Again.
That, like, it looks absolutely incredible when you put it in 4K or whatever it does to the fucking world. But what I will say is that it's really frustrating to play the opening hour or two of that game and then the next game be a underwater level thing. Because I've never liked that. I said the same. Do you remember when we were talking about when we were on Marvel calls, James? And I was like, that first Black Panther film was beautiful, and that was mainly down to the color palette. That whole, like, the color palette is fucking movie, but, like, you know what I mean? Like, it was beautifully colored throughout from start to finish, and then you play. Then you watch the second film and it was all set underwater, and I'm like, holy fucking hell, this is boring to look at.
It's dreadful, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I will say that first area, the first main area, I'm really disappointed with. But I've just heard that there are some incredible areas after that. So I do want to see what else this game has to... Like, I'm a party of 3 now, so you sort of know where I'm at. And I will play it some more. It's one of those where I go, okay, when does my curiosity fade and the shit begin? But again, it's like, you know, I can see why people love these games. That concept of what this universe is and the problems these characters are facing. And it was the same with Final Fantasy VII. I said the same about that when I played Remake. The concept and the world was fucking fascinating and really interesting, and I love that. And I wish that was in more action games, right? Because action games tend to be very more like straight down the line, and like they're not as high concept as this stuff. I wish there was more of that in this, but at the same time, I can't handle some of the JRPG stuff. So I'm interested to see how far I go with it. At the moment, I'm still, when I sit down to play a game, that's the game I'm putting on at the moment, and that says a lot. Because I loaded up my PS5 to play the football game, and I accidentally went over to, what's it called, Kingdom Come Deliverance, and that music in the menu came up. I was like, oh my god, I want to play this with every inch of my body right now, but I cannot go back to it right now. That's going to ruin my life. So yeah, that was my reaction to it. Have you played much more, Matt? Are you up there with?
No, I haven't. I've had it on and just had it on pause a lot. I've had other things going on, but no, I mean, I will. I just, for whatever reasons, haven't really found the motivation to crack on with it. But I do want to. Just haven't this week.
See, I'm a bit further, I think, in than Sean is, but not significantly. I think maybe one area like ahead. Yeah. And I am really enjoying this because, I mean, I'm finding it compelling in the sense that, as David said, like as soon as I switch my my Xbox on, I want to play it. Like it's my game at the moment. But I do have a couple of things that I'm not. I don't know the thing that I'm less keen about with it is I do feel like that character development in the game isn't very good, in the sense that these characters are interesting kind of archetypes to a degree, but I don't feel that I know them very well, and I don't feel that they're very well fleshed out. Maybe that's because I haven't done loads and loads of side quests, but I don't really feel like I care about them in the same way that I have done in other like RPGs that I've played. Like, for example, like if you play something like Persona or Like a Dragon, there's so much like sort of like backstory that comes into this. There's so much that develops over like missions that you do, getting to know the people. I don't feel that I've experienced that in this, but that is one of the consequences of the game being so focused and streamlined. And it's, to me, it's been very, very focused on the main story and what they're trying to achieve, which is completely fine, and I'm enjoying it for that. But I do feel that the characters I don't find quite as interesting, like in themselves. But as an ensemble for the whole piece of like what they're trying to do, it works. Like it really does. But yeah, in general, really enjoying it. But then, as I said, it may also be because I've not played millions of side quests so far.
Are you actively avoiding them? Or are you just like not interested or crack on mainline?
No, I mean it's not that I'm actively avoiding them. It's just that I've found the main story as well quite compelling, so I just keep pushing on with that.
I've kind of been the same. I was going off the beaten path quite a bit and finding optional stuff and enjoying it, but yeah, as I've gone through, because I'm enjoying the main story so much, I kind of just want to see what happens next. So yeah, but then as you say, yeah, you then wonder like, well, is there other stuff I'm missing out on because I'm not doing side stuff? I think there's some like optional stuff that is very clearly like come back when you've basically finished the game, which is common. Like plenty of JRPGs have that stuff, and then there's some that's like optional, but optional in the sense that you could choose to take it on mid-campaign rather than saving it for the end. And it's increasingly I'm just like, I'm not really that bothered. And like sometimes exploring will just get you like some currency or an upgrade item or whatever, and
it's supposed to be like a new weapon or something like that, which is great.
Yeah, well, because new weapons often quite interesting. Like there's enough there in the weapon system and the way they all have, when they hit certain level thresholds, they get new abilities and stuff. That stuff's really cool. But then sometimes it's just like, here's some like 1,000 of the currency.
Yeah,
like,
the chrome or whatever. Yeah,
cool. And sometimes characters who've like things have happened in the story, and then you'll pick up some currency, and the character be like, "Great," or whatever. And
I mean,
you are not in the mood for this.
Yeah,
why are you saying that?
That is exactly the sort of shit.
This will be helpful.
That fucking gets me. Yeah. Oh god, the shit they say when they walk about. It's all that stuff. It's that stuff that always makes me go, fuck. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Like, I just have, I suppose, sometimes you just don't like something. And for me, that sort of barking shit just really, like, when it's contextual and it feels right, then it works. But when you're going, that'll be useful, it makes me go, shut up. And they're British in this.
If you ever played the last Xenoblade Chronicles.
Oh yeah, you and James would bark things to each other, and you. What was it, James? What was the one that made you laugh?
I don't remember. There was
loads of something a bit meatier.
Yeah, that was that shit.
Yeah, that stuff I've never really liked, and as I said, there's some of the conversations in this, and look, it's not fair to compare it to Kingdom Come because it's completely different. But when you meet someone in Kingdom Come Deliverance, you feel connection, you feel conversation, it feels natural, it feels like conversations can go somewhere. But when you have conversations in this, it is very much like, right, you ready to head out? I might look around in a minute, but are you nervous? And it's like, this is all, it feels like it's written for me. That's the difference. It doesn't feel like two characters talking. It feels like it's all written for me as a player, and that pisses me off.
Because it feels like it's like theatre to a degree. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yes,
like this is a performance. That's going on here.
And
I know a lot of people dig that, and that's fine.
Well, I am a fan of theatre, and when you go to the theatre, you naturally go. I remember there was an interview with like an actor once who started off when they first started acting. They were talking like they normally would, but directors were going, "What the fuck? What are you doing? Like, no, you can't. You can't just talk like you're down the pub in this film because it doesn't work. Like, you need to speak in a specific way, and that's So I get it, but like I don't know. Like, when I play JRPGs, a lot of that is kind of like, is this being translated in a bad way? Is that why it feels slightly off? But here it just, I don't know. Look,
it's a funny one because I don't know because obviously it's a French team, so I assume it was written in French first and then translated. I don't know.
Sure. But British actors.
But that's the thing. But then the British cast, like, there's some big names in there.
And I think they do a good job. I don't think I think the performances are really good. And it's not even like the script isn't particularly bad. I think the way it's stitched together does something to my brain that I don't like.
Because I know it feels like a really pissy complaint, but the fact that you can't just set the dialogue to auto advance, like you've got to press A after every line.
Yeah, I was waiting for that, but I'm just like,
a killer. Like that, because it's like I the player, I'm being asked to pace the dialogue, and I hate that. I'd rather just let it play, right?
But I will say is that as much as I don't appreciate this style of game, and I'm not a fan of this style of game, I can still look at it and say, oh no, this is good, right? You look at South of Midnight, that is more my style of game. That is more the sort of game that I like to play. But I've played these both next to each other and gone, no, Expedition 33 is a better game. Like, I can feel that. I don't think South of Midnight is a bad game at all, but I definitely know that Expedition 33 is a better game. Like, I can see it from that perspective. It's just one of those, it's like, shit, how long am I going to put into this before the stuff that I don't like sort of takes over? Who knows? Part of me, the majority of me wishes that shit fades away and then suddenly I'm into it. But the amount of times I put into fucking Final Fantasy, and by the end of it, absolutely fuming with the fucking thing.
I have to say though, I've said it already, but I really think the combat in this is great because I like the the Like a Dragon stuff. As I said before, like I played that and I enjoyed it to a degree, but it was always kind of like the turn-based stuff. I never like. As soon as I could do the thing where you can just like auto battle all the time, I was straight into that. Wasn't interested. This I really am enjoying. Like sort of learning how the system works because
fucking looks great as well.
Has its own completely its own systems.
Yeah,
and the little things like I was about 3 or 4 hours in where I was like, there's no magic points. There's no fucking magic. But I don't have to worry about, make sure you've got enough ether potions. Like, no, you can just fucking use magic spells. But there's ways to engineer how you use them that makes them way cooler.
Isn't the point system that?
Yeah, but you don't have to
the blue things.
I mean, to an extent, but it's not just like. But most JRPGs, it's like you've got your health and then you've got your mana or magic points, whatever, and then you can end up in situations where I'm like, well, I'm 3/4 into this dungeon, and I've run out of mana potions, and my magic user's got no fucking mana left. So fucking what do I do now? They're basically useless.
With this, you can get it back.
You can generate those action points, and you can
as you're fighting. So you get action points, and every time you just attack, do a standard attack, you get points back, right?
And then, there as you progress, there are ways to just generate loads of them. And it's
cool. Yeah, just one quick question. You know the overcharge thing, which is one of the first moves you get.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Like so. Sometimes he has 5 points or whatever action points, and it works as I expect it to work. And then sometimes I have 5 action points, and he goes, "This is weak," and then it doesn't work.
So the overcharge thing, every time he hits or dodges or parries, or is it just hits or parries? I can't remember. That adds one to the overcharge. So the overcharge counter is separate to his action points.
That's what I'm missing.
Yeah.
I thought it was all based on action points. Okay.
Yeah, so basically keep hitting stuff until it gets to ideally 10.
10, for massive. Yeah.
But then you still have to have enough action points to to execute it, which has happened to me many times where I've been like, I've got it to 10, I'm ready to do it. And it's like, I've run out of action points.
Right, okay. Okay, that's where I fucked up then. Okay. Look at me playing JRPGs, eh? Yeah?
Look at you.
Grown up now,
They said it wouldn't happen.
Big boy.
Well, I'm a big boy now. I am a big boy now. I saw a spider in a video game, and I'm playing JRPGs. Big boy now. Mummy, wow.
I am a big... Sorry.
Promise.
Never apologise for that, James.
Never apologise for that. That is... I love that. That's the best. Promise Mascot Agency. You have been playing more of this, Sean?
Yes. Just wanted to say I finished it. Fucking loved it.
I've heard it's really good.
Yeah, it is. All the way to the end. It's fantastic. The weird thing, I talked to James about this. Again, no spoilers. When you finish it, it sort of implies there's going to be loads more to do, and I didn't even want that necessarily. I was quite happy for the way it ended, and was happy to move on to something else. So I was fine with it. But it was just, I don't know. Narratively, it sort of implies there's going to be loads more. I mean, loads of post-game stuff, and it just
heavily implies that. It's like it's kind of like you're not done, and it's like there's still lots of things to do, and it's like there's really not.
Yeah, and that's fine, but why say it? I don't know. Yeah,
maybe it's like blueprints, and that you won't actually find out that there's shitloads to do until like 2 years. Yeah. So
I mean, I loved it. Really funny and interesting right up to the end. Again, it's just another story about community, which I thought was just really interesting.
Do you get to kick a bottle at your teacher?
And there's a mascot who's obsessed with. I mean, there's loads of funny mascots in the game, but there's this one who I think he's like a teddy bear. But he's obsessed with pixelation in pornography.
Yeah.
He's anti-pixelation. That's his whole thing.
Sorry, a teddy bear that's obsessed with pornography. That just sounds like our James Farley.
that is a
also anti-pixelation.
Yep, big time.
Oh, well, definitely anti-pixelation.
Right, that's what we've been playing this week. What a lovely set of games. I'll be honest with you, we're all just filling time for the new Nintendo console, aren't we, eh?
Are there any big releases between now and June, or we're just like doing some, what's the word? We're just filling the back, just getting through the backlog before Switch 2.
New Doom's soon, isn't it?
New Doom,
okay.
I really want to play Ghost Town as well.
People are raving about that on Quest.
I really want to play that. So
it looks great as well.
It looks fantastic, and obviously it's by the people who made The Room, and The Room VR was
yes,
brilliant.
and I'm a fan of them games.
Yeah.
Do you like The Room?
I love The Room, yeah.
You might have to tell that story again. I think it's been a while since that's come up.
What, just Matt, when Elodie was a baby, sending me messages at 3 a.m. saying, have you played The Room? You've got to play The Room. Please play The Room. Here's a link to The Room.
Oh, I was obsessed with The Room. That was getting me through a lot of bad times, The Room.
There is one more
If I play
game.
it now, I'll play a massive flashback, so maybe I shouldn't.
Yeah, that was Dark Souls for me. I had
PTSD.
two. It was Dark Souls with Harry and then Tetris Effect with Charlie. I managed to convince myself that Tetris Effect would make him fall asleep easier, so I just played shit tons of Tetris Effect. There was one more game that we played that you've not mentioned, which is weird because you've been messaging me about it all week, James. You've been playing Forza Horizon.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
I messaged you once or twice about it. Not that
Well, and then I watched your stream the other night, and you were saying about how amazing it was.
Yeah, it is really
You
good.
only just found this out.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
very good game.
what's happened? What's happened there? Why have you just found out how?
Hang
good it
on,
is?
sorry, did you not play it on Xbox? Because I know you were anti-Forza when it came out on Xbox, and it didn't count as a game.
Yeah, it doesn't count.
It's obviously better because it's on a PlayStation console now. So that's
Well, I
the
was about to
reason
say
I'm
because I did
Yeah.
go back and listen to what you said about it at the time when it would come out on Xbox, and you said I should like this game. I just don't. It's something I just can't get on with it.
But do you know what I think it might be? I think it
Go
might have
on.
been the low frame rate on the Series S and playing
Why-
it in
what do you mean?
1080p. Because it's
Go
like
on.
so it really does make quite a bit of a difference playing it on a more powerful console. And yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's good.
So it's what's the frame rate on the? Oh, so you're playing it at 60 frames now,
Yes. Yeah.
and you're saying it was what was it? It's 30 frames on the Series
think it
S.
was
30 and
30
1080p on, yes.
Which
No,
is,
you can play it in 60 frames on the S.
okay.
James refused.
But not. I mean, that's true. Yeah. Yeah.
What's true?
Okay.
I don't know.
Is it just that it's on a PlayStation console now? Is that it?
No, it's
'Cause
not.
That's what it
It's-
fucking feels like.
No,
You've
it's
been
not.
texting me
It's-
saying, "Oh, it's so good," and I'm
It
like,
is good. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
we fucking
no-
told
"That's
you
not what you
years ago.
said when it was on the Xbox only. This is weird."
Why is
This
it?
No,
is-
because he had it on an underpowered Xbox, and he was
Yeah.
like, "Well, it's rubbish actually." No, if you get it on the X, it
I've
is great.
played shitloads of it on the S. It's absolutely fine.
Oh, I'm sorry for you, Sean, because it's much better on
Play
the
it on PlayStation,
5.
Sean. It's way better. It's better on
Actually,
PS5
an
Pro.
11 out of 10
Yeah.
Yeah.
on the PlayStation.
The fact that you bought it as well. I mean, you've got it.
No, because I told
Asher,
you, like,
wasn't it?
the reason I got it was because Asher really wanted to play it, and he wants to play it with all his friends. And
That's
yeah.
the easy excuse, isn't it? Isn't it cross-platform?
Yeah, I realised that as well after.
Oh, interesting.
You're so full of shit. It's unbelievable. But this cements the fact that you're a Sony fanboy. in
Oh
my
yeah,
opinion.
absolutely. Yeah,
This is-
yeah.
Don't say that like you're not. It's literally a game that came out
Why?
on the
Okay,
Xbox 5
look,
years ago.
Why would I not want to play a game right on a better console? Why
Because
is
you
that
didn't like
so bad?
it originally.
I didn't play it that much, you know.
But you could have this entire time after
could
we
have
were
done.
raving about it, and we never stopped. We
Yeah, I
always
could
talk about
have
how
done.
good that
I
game
could have
is.
done. But then maybe it was better to wait for it to be on a better console, than the one I've got.
Oh, good. Good. If you want to lean into that, that's fine. But don't try and pretend it's anything different. Fine.
No,
If
it's
you're-
true. What is wrong with me wanting to play it on the more powerful machine that I've got?
Because it doesn't matter. It's still an incredible game on the
I'm
Series
sure it
S.
is, but it's
an
an even
incredible
more
game
incredible
on the
game.
fucking Xbox One.
It really was, yeah.
I'm sure it is, yeah, but it's still better when you're playing it in nicer resolution and stuff.
So what do you think of it?
Okay.
Are you actually playing for the campaign?
It's all right.
Shit, James, have you done the Battle Royale mode yet?
No, honestly,
Just do
I've
that,
hardly
it's
played
fucking
any of it,
great.
but, yeah.
Really good, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. It's bullshit, but it's
Yep.
a lot of fun. Anyway, should we get to
Maybe
your
we could do a Forza
questions?
stream.
Oh my god,
A
yeah.
Forza Battle
I
Royale.
was thinking actually we should probably play.
I mean, if it is cross-platform,
Oh yeah,
we've got it on Xbox.
Oh yeah, were you thinking that
and
now?
it's,
were you?
it's
You were
cross-platform
thinking
as
that?
well, so it's all good.
Is it?
Problem
Oh, wow.
is, it doesn't count. It doesn't count, David.
Doesn't count as an Xbox game.
That was not what I meant by that. What I meant by
No?
that was when if like Microsoft announcing a new Forza game is not a surprise. You know, it's not like something brand new sort of thing that's coming out. It's just
I don't think that's the
Another
angle you're
Forza
going
game.
for. It
Last
wasn't
one came
about
out
then.
5 years ago, James. Last one
Yeah.
came out
but
5
there's
years
definitely going to be another one. It's like there's no way that it's not going to be another one.
Right. Okay. So any sequel of any game is not worth
No,
anything.
for specific series, there's definitely going to be another one. Like, why would they not do
So
another?
it's not a big
Forza?
deal if when they announce a new Halo.
No, it's not.
Or another
it's,
Like
it's
a Dragon.
Really not at this stage. I mean, well, no. See, Halo's different because Forza has been like consistently successful and consistently really good, and there's been like loads of them that have come out. Halo has been a bit hit and miss over the years.
What if
So
they announce
because
a new
it's
Last
good,
of
that
Us?
means it doesn't count.
Yes.
What happens when they announce a new Last of Us?
That's
Doesn't count.
No, of course it counts because
Played
there
out.
hasn't been hardly.
No,
there's only
because
been-
it's so blatant they're working on another one, isn't it?
Look, whatever. Just get us the listeners' questions.
I've loved the text messages I've been getting this week about how great Forza Horizon is.
I said
I went
about
back.
3. I can
went
read them
back.
to you.
I went back and listened to the fucking
I bet you did.
podcast and I was like, this is peak James Farley. It's the same fucking game.
Yeah.
Oh,
Why can't you just be happy for me, David? Why'd you have to
sorry,
say this?
you're right. I'm happy for you.
Yeah, I'm glad you're
enjoying
playing
a
because
very
it is
good
an amazing game.
Yeah, it is a good game. And actually doing a stream of that is something that I would like to do with my life. Right, shall we get to the questions?
Yeah, God, yeah, we haven't got time for many, have we? If you want to send us a
Got time for
question,
loads, mate.
Yeah,
go to
every one of them.
tcgs.co/dear TCGS. Andrew from Canada says, "Good day, all. It's been a while since I've last written in, and a lot has happened."
Oh, no, hang on, wait a minute.
Oh, yeah.
Also, I couldn't play it on the Portal when it was on Xbox, so that's another reason.
Portal didn't
Yeah, but
exist
it
back
came
then.
out before the Portal existed.
So, but I can play it now on Portal.
James?
Which I couldn't do. Yeah.
Yeah, but that wasn't a reason at the time.
James, no, hold on, everyone go quiet. James,
Yeah.
look at me.
Go on.
What resolution is it running on the portal?
I mean, it's running at 1080p, but it's in my hands.
So same resolution as yes. Okay.
Yep.
660 frames. Yeah.
Well, which Sean said you could do anyway.
Yeah, okay, go on.
Cool. Yeah.
Andrew
okay.
from
Let's
Canada.
cover it.
Good day, all. It's been a while since I've last written in, and a lot has happened. I've gotten engaged to my wonderful partner. We just had what feels like one of the most important federal elections in history, and the world seems to have slipped more and more into chaos. All these things are only tangentially relate to each other. My current mission is to find single-player games that pass the fiancé in the room test. She enjoys her Animal Crossing and Animal Crossing likes. We've even had a blast playing Hazelight's amazing cooperative games, but I sense a yearning for something more without the immediate commitment of memorizing complex button combinations. So what games can you recommend that are captivating enough to watch and maybe even offer some light non-controller-based participation and might subtly nudge a casual gamer towards exploring a broader gaming landscape?
Right, easy first one.
I got
Blueprint?
two.
As Dust
Blueprints.
Falls.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god, you both nailed it. When I said I've got two, it was Blueprints and As Dust Falls. Those are two great options because Blueprints, you both notice different things and you piece things together. Like honestly, Matt, when you sat next to me and we played that, it was
Yeah,
like
it was a great
completely
little
different
experience, isn't it?
Yeah. As Dust Falls is another one where you both sit there and try and work it out to like make decisions together. Fucking great. Perfect for that.
We had a really nice time playing Obra Dinn together until we were too thick for it. But up until that point, that was a really nice experience. Again,
5 minutes in with me and Joe.
Can't think of many others. There's definitely been. I mean, like Life is Strange, but then obviously
Yeah, I was going to say that. I mean,
is uneven, shall we say? But yeah, I can't think of many others.
Not really on the same sort of subject, but being a gamer around non-gamers, the recent episodes of The Last of Us has been an incredible experience as someone that played those games when that first game come out. It's wild. And I mean, sitting next to Jo while she's watching episode 2 was an experience I don't think I'll ever forget. Like I had moments of that in season 1 where there's a certain character meets their doom, and she looked over to me and went, "Why have you got your hood up? What's going to happen?" And then it happened. It's just like, it's just funny seeing the world react to something that we all reacted to like 5 years ago.
yeah.
Like no idea. They've got no idea it was happening, and it happens, and they're all like, "Does that? What? Why?" And I have to go, "Yeah, I know. This was a big deal back in the day. Yeah, hope you find your next game. But I think Blueprints and As Dusk Falls are two excellent recommendations for that, for sure.
Definitely. Next question comes from Mr. Arms and Legs Man. Don't know why that made me laugh. But, so Matt lost the tattoo bet, and it was decided that his forfeit would be getting a tattoo of the Wookiee from Fallen Order on his arse. Matt got a tattoo of a totally different Wookiee on his hip. So can we all agree that the bet is still on his plate?
Oh, come on. I don't know how you could actually.
What more could I do? Really? Come on.
It's funny because we were I'm so happy with how it works out. The fact that you like the tattoo at the end of it made it way more comfortable.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and the fact that I look at that tattoo and thought that looks fucking great and it's funny. It was perfect. Yeah, really.
Yeah, I would have got a shit one, and I would have probably grown to love it, and it was funny. But yeah, I'm much happier that it's
Everyone
one I
would have
don't
thought
detest.
less of all of us if you got a shit tattoo.
Well, there was that, but then it was also you were lucky that you got Mark. Whereas his wife, Alicia, who's also a tattoo artist, was like, I really wanted to do a shit tattoo for you. And if you'd have got me, you'd have got a shit tattoo. I was like, fucking hell, that is but it's massive. At least respect the fact that it wasn't a tattoo. But some people were saying, I thought this was going to be like a coin-sized tattoo on the arse just to fulfill the bet.
Yeah, a lot of people said it's way bigger than I expected. I was like, well, yeah, it is. And it's just, I wasn't going to argue. It was fine. What I can say, no, can you make it a smaller mark? No, fuck that. Just get it on. It's, happy
Whack it on me, boy. Okay.
Maria Mendieta says, Dear TCGS coat of arms, like James, I recently rode a ferry. Unlike James, it was for a distance well beyond 6 miles, meaning boredom had enough of a chance to set in. Which brings me to my question about travelling and gaming. When you bring along handhelds on trips, how much gaming do you actually get done compared to how much you expect will be accomplished? Keep up the incredible work.
Oh my God.
Much less than I would like.
I usually have to shout at myself to get off my fucking phone and actually play something that I'd said I would play. That's usually the thing for me. Is I'm just.
What I've noticed recently is that I'll pack my Switch and won't play it the whole trip, and that fucking annoys me a bit. But at the same time, I'm kind of like, well, at least I'm not. I don't want to be that guy either. You know what I mean? Where I'm going away with my family. And, Dad, hold on. Hold on.
You can't pause it.
I'm just about to get a high score. No.
I mean, I've definitely got really good memories of like when I was a kid, playing. Big one for me was we went on holiday to France, went to Chamonix, and I played a load of Metal Gear. Oh God, what was it called? The one on the Game Boy Color, Ghost Babel, I think. It's really good. I played shitloads of that and finished it while I was in this hotel in France, and that's a really pleasant memory. But then, as you say,
hell yeah, when you're a kid doing that stuff,
but as an adult, and you should really be, guiding the family towards doing fun things together. Not so much.
Well, it's more like when as a family went to Jersey a few years ago, Elodie was obviously in bed early. Jill was also in bed early, so I was like, well, it's 9 o'clock. I'm not going to go down to a hotel bar on my own, so I just smashed the living fuck out of Tears of the Kingdom, and I did everything in the depths because I was like, nothing else to do. I was like, might as well. Yeah, I don't know. I just felt a bit weird leaving the room, so I just.
And especially, if you're sharing a hotel room with the whole family.
As soon as where else am I going to go? So at that point, it was great.
Noise, so I'll just sit on the balcony and play.
Yeah. We did a Renegade Roundup on the plane. Me, Harry, and Charlie.
Oh, yeah.
That was pretty cool. Yeah, setting up tabletop mode, just like the adverts. Yeah, that was that. I like that. Oh, and what was it? What were we playing? We were playing whatever 42 worldwide games or whatever it is on the Switch. And the bloke next to it, we had a traveller, taking a gap year, sitting next to me, and he was pissing himself at how seriously we were playing Connect 4 on that thing. It was like Charlie was really getting into it, and I'm like, gotcha. I wasn't letting him win or whatever. The bloke was pissing himself next to us. It was quite funny.
I had a really good time once. I was getting the train from Manchester to London, and I played Sonic Rush on the DS. And
wow!
I just remember literally just playing it for a bit, and then I'm in London. Fuck. That was just 2 hours just went. It was amazing.
Oh, that shit is the best. Yeah. I must have told you this, James. I remember I had a job somewhere up north, and I got into, what was it? It would have been Waterloo Station. They used to have a little HMV. You know, you go up the Travelator to the Weatherspoons up there, and underneath that, I think it was Waterloo or Victoria. It's one of those, and they had a HMV underneath the Weatherspoons.
That's Victoria.
Yeah, I remember walking in there, buying a Phoenix Wright game. I think it was the second one.
Yeah.
Getting on the train and just sitting and playing Phoenix Wright with the headphones in and just sitting back on the DS Lite and just thinking, this is fucking incredible. Like, what a day.
Of course, these days, you would have to connect to the internet to do it if you're playing Switch 2.
You fucking will.
So, yeah, because of woke. I think.
Do you know they've already introduced that game cart, virtual game cart?
With the 20.0 update, right?
Yeah.
I've got my first virtual game cart because Charlie went, I want to play Storyteller. And I went, what? This was really interesting because Harry, the older one, plays Fortnite. That's it. Charlie wants to play everything. He plays Blueprints all the time. He plays Split Fiction. He plays just a bunch of other games. And he was like, I want to play Is it Storyteller?
Yeah.
The one with the frames of the.
Yeah.
And he's been obsessed with that. Oh, Stanley Parable, he got obsessed with that as well. So it's like really focused on a variety of games. And so I had to re-download Storyteller for him on the Switch. And it said, well, you're downloading this as a virtual fucking game card or whatever. It's like, okay, whatever.
So you're already doing the whole like family share where it's like primary, secondary consoles, right? So
Sure.
So how this is worse? I haven't done it with Elodie because
I don't know.
Has a primary one. Does that mean I can now make mine not the primary one? I don't have to use the internet or to connect.
You'll never know until you do it in practice. I think the only thing that scares me is that it talks about 2 consoles the whole time, and I'm like, well, there's 3 of us that play it. But let's face it, I'm not buying 3 Switch 2s, and I'm not James Farley. It's going to take me a while before we build up that sort of inventory. When James Farley's kid breaks one, I'm sure we'll get it.
Get one shipped over.
I'm never doing that again. All I get is abuse for that. Giving away 3 consoles.
I never got one, James.
I was really appreciative, and so was Isaac.
Hold on. You don't get abuse for that. It's for the fact that you handed me a perfectly fine working Switch as an excuse to buy another Switch.
It wasn't. It was because Asher bought one, and he's like, all right. I thought it might be nice to pass it on, King hell.
It was wonderful. We still use it.
I hope that answers your question, Maria.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All right, Maria.
Vince Ryan says, hello lads, I'm a new listener to the show and I think you do a cracking job. TCGS has quickly become my favourite podcast and it genuinely brightens up my day. A little soppy, but I thought you should know the good feelings you give to people. I'm sure like many listeners, I've grown a strange respect for James's general low effort and indifference to just about everything. I'm only a few episodes in, and so far the only things I've heard him be animated about were ready salted crisps and the bathhouses in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
That's about right.
For the sake of myself and other new listeners, could you regale us with some of Farley's greatest low-effort moments? Cheers.
Oh, God.
We'll be all day.
Well,
I mean, the editing of the Patreon bonus show is a...
That was outrageous. I was stitched up with that.
Yeah, you were stitched up there. No, low effort moments. My favourite is recently we had our 400th episode special. James Farley didn't turn up to that. And then when I went to listen back to the 300th episode special, he didn't turn up to that either.
Was he on 200, 100? Because he won't be on 500.
It's because of work. I couldn't because of work.
Okay.
It's pronounced woke, James.
My
favourite was there was that phase whenever one of us would be like, "Oh, lads, I'm not sure I can record tonight," and James would be like, "Yeah, me neither. Can we delay it?"
Annoyingly, James was on episode 300.
He's still going to have to do it, but he was just like, "Oh, but I won't have to do it now."
Yeah,
and that's better.
Delaying is always good.
My other thing, if Chelsea are playing, he wants to move the episode
Stop
the
doing
day
that
that
after the fuss you made about that.
Yeah, well, good. The other thing, one of my favourites was James took a lot of time off last year. He took a couple of months off or
Half
whatever.
the year.
and then he said he got angry and said, "Right, I am not taking any more time off until the end of the year," which he did do. But the first opportunity he got in the new year, he took a week off.
Again, because I had to go for work. It's every single time, right? The reason I'm not here is because either it's work and I have to go away for conferences or whatever like that, or I've had to go back to China because, to see family. It's like this is not just me not turning up. It's like there's reasons.
Okay, but we are saying, come on, this is work as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a paying job.
I have also, on several occasions
this week.
I was going to say, this work pays him regardless of whether he turns up or
Yeah, lovely old job.
Also,
that is.
I have tried recording from all over the place, and it's been
Travel Lodge, Premier Inn.
Yeah, it's not like I don't try. It's like
I know, but you do the minimal effort of trying to make it seem like you're trying. And
it's
then
not minimal effort. I have to pack all the microphone. I have to go through fucking security off
all the microphone.
All the microphone.
Microphone.
I have to make excuses for why I can't go out in the evening or whatever. It's just.
Oh, fuck off! You love excuses for not going out in the evening.
Tell him you got freelance work to do. It's basically true. It sounds cooler than what the truth is.
This is what I said, though. It's like James, least effort of all of us, I think. Don't get offended by that. That's probably right.
I will say,
don't get offended by it, James. That's the least effort of the four of us, right?
For the weekly pod, he does stream, but for the weekly pod,
he does stream. But I say for the weekly pod, least effort. If there's a poll of the listener's favourite, James would win it every fucking time.
He'll get 90% of the vote. 90% of the vote.
Why are you shaking your head? You are the favourite. You're the listener's favourite.
Yeah.
And the best part is that those people who love him the most, there'll be an equal split of people who think this is all a bit and people who know it isn't. And they all love him equally. That's the best bit.
James, don't shake your head. You are the listener's favourite. That's it. Don't just go quiet either. No, it just backs up what I'm saying.
There's no debate.
I feel like I'm being unfairly represented.
What, as the favourite?
As the favourite.
Well, lovely bit of I love being misrepresented like that. That'd be great.
See, this is the thing I know about James, because I know James very, very well. He's more comfortable with us saying that he does the least out of the four of us than us saying that he's the listener's favourite. He hates that more. James, everyone loves you, James. Look at his little face.
It does make me feel uncomfortable.
Why?
Keep saying it.
Just does. Just don't say it. Can we move on to the next thing, please?
Do you want a hug?
No.
Can't accept joy, can he?
No.
The next question is all about how much they love you, so let's move on.
I did have a question I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you a question earlier on. Actually, before we started recording and there's that gap of time, that this is when I was going to ask you that question, but I realised it was two. Do I sigh a lot?
I sigh a lot. Joe keeps going, what's the matter with you? And I go, nothing. You just went,
Yeah.
Yeah, because Chen said the same to me the other day. She says, all I can hear is you sighing, all the time about stuff.
You're not just forgetting to breathe for a bit and then catching up?
That
is very possible. That is what's
I feel
happening.
like I do that sometimes.
Because of my fucked lungs.
Yeah, I'm just breathing out.
Surviving,
all
mate.
right. Okay.
Okay.
MD Krabuffs says, I've only just realised that Blue Prince is a pun. What blindingly obvious thing has gone over your head?
Yeah, no, that was instant, the Blue Prince.
Yeah, for me.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it's probably been the headline of that news story about Half-Life 3. I mean, that was...
Yeah, that was quite good. What was it? Get Down Services has a game called Helen. A song called Helen back. And it took me a year before. I was driving along and saw it on the thing and went, Helen back. Oh, Helen back. Fucking hell. That took me way too long to work out.
I can't really think of anything, really.
Yeah, I'm
because there's probably lots of things I'm not
Because I'm
realising.
so brainy and I
just sort of get everything.
Well, obviously that, yeah. Well, no, it's more like there's lots of things I don't understand, and I don't understand it.
Yeah, we don't know yet. That's the terrifying
that's
thing.
probably it.
There'll be
If
loads
anything,
of
it's
things.
worse for me because I know most things straight away. So that means there's fuckloads I don't know, and I don't realise it.
Yep.
Okay.
I did get blueprints, so I'm not an idiot.
I thought the word flesh meant skin, but it doesn't. It means the stuff under the skin.
Yeah, oh shit, okay. Yeah, no, that's pretty bad.
Man,
I thought biopic was pronounced biopic.
Biopic.
Yeah.
Oh. What was that?
Biopic.
Oh, I've done this before. Do you remember?
Fred, do you remember the cartoon Fred?
No, I don't think I do.
Not sure.
I think it was called Fred. No. Yeah, it was. Fred cartoons, that's it. Fred had a wife who I thought was called Siobhan, but then someone went, no, that's how you spell Siobhan.
Oh, well, yeah.
That was an embarrassing moment for me. And the time that I thought that Timbuktu was in Scotland. But that is still because of the Nesses, the TV show, the Nesses. They used to talk about Timbuktu all the time in their Scottish accent, so I just assumed it was in Scotland. And then I was embarrassed as a 30-year-old.
This isn't really an answer to the question because I was only about 5 or 6 at the time. We had a Charlie Brown sort of not movie, but sort of feature-length episode on VHS we used to watch obsessively, where they went to France, and I could get my head around the fact that they stop off in England to get to France. Because I was like, well, where are they from then? And I remember Mum having to be like, no, in America, they speak English. I'm like, what?
They speak American, Mum.
Don't lie to me.
Yeah, when I first heard about the company that sells Mario games, I was like, oh, the Nintendo. I haven't got a Nintendo, but I was more Sega. Yeah, I thought they were called Nintendo. Also, Dave, I think you were there when I called the stickers on a car. Maybe it might be Forza, actually. And I was like, oh, yeah, like, what decals have you got on your car?
Oh, yeah, decals.
Decals.
Yeah, I think you did it on this show.
Yeah.
Decals.
And this is a friend of a friend, and I'm just nicking it. But they thought the word mini-series was French, I think, and they pronounced it miniseries.
Oh, love that. That's great. What a beautiful sounding word as well.
Yeah.
Miniseries. Love that.
Improvement.
Yeah, one of my friends was very, very...
it wasn't Siobhan, it was Penelope. And it was Penelope. Yeah, that's right. Penelope.
Yeah, when I was, I don't know, 13 or 14, when we were all like skating, as in like rollerblading, my friend Grant, we went to get a new helmet for him, and it had like the amount of pressure you can exert on top of a helmet, and it was pounds LBS, and he's like, oh, what's the lobes on this? So I know. What's the lobes on this?
Oh, if you go back to when you're a kid, it's even worse. I remember being 12 or whatever and driving to Millwall and going, oh, we're in Southwark. Southwark.
But then that is an awkward pronunciation. I don't think that's on.
Yeah, I know, but also they don't care. The adults around you don't care. They just laugh at you for hours.
But there's loads of them up here, like moving up north. That there's a place near Huddersfield, maybe called. It's written Slaithwaite, but everyone always says it's like Slowett. I was like, well, how was I possibly going to get Slowett? Slaithwaite. Yeah.
Slaithwaite sounds like a new supermarket.
Yeah,
it's taken on the likes of Lidl and Aldi.
Every little helps. Yeah, it's Grant Sargent, by the way, everyone. Grant
I was a bit worried there was no surname. Yeah. Right, I'll do a couple more. Lewis Manafort says, as all the console manufacturers are trying to see how much they can get away with charging for hardware and software now, what is the highest price you would pay for a new game? And if the PlayStation 6 comes out at £900, would you buy a PC? I don't need an answer from Matt.
Oh, okay, fine.
No, I wouldn't buy a PC. I don't know if I'd buy a PS6 at 900. I think that's too much.
900.
I think
if both the consoles are 900 and what I say if they're all £800, Or
I don't buy it.
Would you have nothing? There would be no more gaming.
800. No, I think my maximum would be 6.
That's what I was going to say. Like 599 or
What?
something.
So no PS6 for you then? Is that
Yeah.
that's
No.
I can't believe what you wouldn't game. Well, yeah, but we've all been gaming all our lives. You just gotta stop because it's a lot of money, obviously.
Well, no, you can carry on gaming, Matt. It doesn't mean that you can't game anymore. It just means that you don't buy
as good
console.
If any of those consoles come out at £900, a lot of people are not going to be playing games.
Yeah,
I don't think it will be 900 quid. But I mean, the Xbox now is 730. But you've got to imagine
what's it like knowing that your PC is probably about the spec that the PS6 will come in at anyway.
Yeah, great.
That is a slap in the face. Fucking hell.
Yeah, but PS6 we have different games, isn't it? So it's not.
Sean Bell's just acquired a new skill. And he's
killing me dead.
Matt did not dodge it.
Yeah, no, but but so if the consoles are 800 quid, would it not take you longer to save up?
No, Matt,
it's
shut
not like you'll
up.
never get it.
We all know that you were buying no matter what.
No, I'm talking about you guys.
1,500 quid, you'll fucking be there. Like it's pathetic.
Yeah, of course. I'll just save up longer.
Can't wait for the episode where they announce the new consoles are 900 quid, and then we're like, right, guys, so we're pivoting to retro games now.
Yeah.
PS5, baby.
Fucking hell.
Last question comes from Ben. He says, have you watched that new game show on ITV, Genius Game, hosted by David Tennant? I gave it a deco? Why does it say... That must be a typo, right? Wasn't sure I'd be into it, but I'm really hooked. I don't want to spoil anything.
Gave it a go, I think they were trying to say.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil anything, but I think David would like it, so just a recommendation, really.
Why?
I had a quick look into this, and all I could find was articles basically saying, everyone says it's too complicated. Apparently people are really struggling to follow it. Yeah.
I love overly complicated game show things.
I'm intrigued.
I saw a trailer and I was like, oh, looks like traitors next, and I just didn't bother. But yeah.
I really like trying to explain Deal or No Deal to people that don't know it. Well, you sort of pick a box.
The fact that that's a TV show is...
Yeah, it's so fucking good as well. Like, it's so fucking good. What, so they don't answer questions? No! They just point at a box and pretend they're friends. They open it. It's great.
Is Noel talking to anyone on the phone, or is it?
No, he absolutely is. You know he is, right?
Is he? I genuinely didn't know.
Yeah, it's a producer taking the piss like half that, and it's not Noel anymore. It's what's his face? What's his name? Stephen Mulhern.
I have no idea.
Yeah, they bought it back, boy. Stephen Mulhern.
Actually, that show I want to watch it because it's got Ken Cheng on it. He's basically like the only good post on LinkedIn. You may have seen his post where they're all basically massive piss takes about him being a CEO, and they're the only post on LinkedIn that's actually worth following. Ken Cheng, and he's on the show, so I kind of want to watch it because he's really, really funny on LinkedIn. Basically, the only person we're following.
What was the game show on that? I think you should leave. It was like the Snuggle or something. Was it Chunky? That's
Chunky.
it.
That's
my god! I love it.
Think about what you do. Sorry, I'm just going to start quoting it now. Probably end the show.
Okay, that's enough. Let's get to socials, Matt, and wrap this one up.
Yes, on Thursday, Sean is streaming a new game, Citizen Sleeper Spindlejack, which was announced today as part of the Citizen Sleeper.
Citizen Sleeper's third birthday, and they've released a print and play at home tabletop game, and I'm really intrigued, and I thought I might just try and do it on the stream. Apparently it's a really good introduction for solo tabletop RPG stuff, so I'm intrigued, and I thought I might try and stream that and see if it's entertaining.
Nice. So that is Thursday at 9 p.m. On Friday at 9 p.m, James and I are back with our split fiction streams. We think we're probably maybe 2 streams now away from the end, but we had a good time on Friday, and we're back 9 p.m. on Friday for more of that. If you have Amazon Prime and a Twitch account, you can connect them, and you get something called Twitch Prime Gaming, and they give you a free subscription to give to any channel. So why not go to our channel by searching TCGS in the app or on the website, the Twitch website that is, to give us your sub. If you miss the streams live, you can go to our YouTube channel, It's at TCGS on YouTube, or search TCGS, and you can see the tattoo video, you can see previous Split Fiction streams, all our previous streams, and you can watch this podcast on video. And the website is tcgs.co, which has links to our Discord, our Blue Sky account, Patreon store. It's all on there.
And that's us for this week. We will be back next week with some more video game chit chat. We hope you have a lovely week. Take care of yourselves out there. Thanks for living it. We'll see you later. Bye-bye, bye-bye, bye, mate.
See you, mate.
Bye.
Bye.